June 25th. Can you believe it already? June 25th.
You know, I can't. February I could believe.
Oh.
When they said, can you believe it's February? Yeah, I could.
But June 25th, you can't. Well, we're getting close to July, which means we're getting close to the 4th of July, which means we're getting close to Christmas. 314-436-7900. Please join us today by calling and texting. Leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app. Watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top 3 stories everyone will be talking about.
Big press conference yesterday with the Cardinals as they announced their leadership restructuring. And then Matthew Liberatore struggles again for the Cardinals, who lose to Arizona at home.
And the Great American State Fair opens up. We will talk to CBS Chief Washington correspondent, Major Garrett. I do want to make a note, too. A special guest, of course, at 11 today, Ryan Hamilton, the comedian, will be joining us.
And the U.S. men's national team, speaking of America, they are going to play their final game of the group stage tonight in the World Cup. Great thing about this one, it doesn't matter. They've already won the group, so they're off to the knockout stage, which happens next week. So really looking forward to some footy a little bit later. It's a late game, too, 9 o'clock. So, and by the way, let me just start there real quick since I mentioned the U.S. men's national team. And we've all, I think, been having a pretty good time with the World Cup and all the storylines, and the great players are playing great, and all the off-field stuff with the tourists coming in, and, you know, the Europeans and the other international folks who are just enjoying the United States.
Hey, Mom, this is my new friend. I'm going to show her all my stuff.
Yeah,
look at all our stuff.
All of that has been a whole lot of fun, but I have to tell you, it is so cool and great and wonderful that they are playing. They're still in the group stage, so they haven't gotten to the tournament part, you know, the part where if you lose, you're out. And this game doesn't matter because they've already locked it up. Like, nothing matters in the game tonight, which is, it's kind of awesome that they're in that position, that they've already clinched it, and it's good. It's kind of like clinching a playoff spot with a week to go in the regular season, and then you can rest guys if you want. You can get your pitching rotation the way you want it set up before the playoffs start. It's awesome. What a great spot to be in.
It is, except, and I'm only being devil's advocate here because it is what I've heard the soccer experts talk about, which is the U.S. men's national team has such great momentum right now, and they're really clicking. Like they've got their vibe, their play, and what you don't want to do is change it up enough where you rest too many players, or you change your game and you kind of lose that moment that you're in right now.
Well, here's what I would say about momentum. I don't think game-to-game momentum exists, not even in baseball.
They didn't even say momentum. They just said the way the team is clicking, right? What do you do on all cylinders? Do you click on all cylinders? Do you run? You fire on all cylinders? Yeah. That's what they're doing. And if you were to change it up where the way you play offensively or defensively changes just a bit, it's not so much momentum as it is you don't want to mess up that the team is playing well right now, technically.
But when there's so much time in between games, and really you can use this as, look, you don't have to rest everybody, but you've got guys who could use some rest. You've got guys who have yellow cards who you don't want to get a red card, which means they couldn't play in the next round. So you can be careful. You could still do all of that and keep yourself finely tuned. I don't know that I have that same kind of concern that the people you're hearing from are talking about. I think it might be overplayed because, again, they're not going to play until Wednesday. That's several. I mean, they're going to play tonight, and then they have a bunch of days off before they play again. So what's the difference?
And I don't know. Again, it's so early in the tournament. It's very different than the Stanley Cup final. The Carolina Hurricanes swept a series, won in 5 games. So by the time they got to the Stanley Cup final, they had more rest than anybody. I believe they had 20 days of rest. And instead of that messing up their momentum or the way they played, they went into the final with fewer injuries and I guess a bit more energy than the Las Vegas Golden Knights, who were really struggling with health and with, I guess you could say, energy just wears you down at that point. But we're talking 2.5 months in at that point in a war of attrition. It's still very early on in this tournament.
The only bad thing about tonight is that it is a 9:00 game, so that's tough.
Not going to happen
9:00.
for me.
I don't know what we're doing here. We're in the United States, and because we get to host this damn thing, you should at least give us all the favorable time slots. Sorry, you're coming in to this country. So here, Canada, Mexico, they should all get all the favorable time slots, which means nothing past 8 o'clock.
Soccer game for owls?
Yeah, stupid.
Who's going to watch this?
So, men, the U.S. will play against Turkey tonight. And, yes.
Since you said it,
Yeah.
do you remember before this tournament anyone saying Turkey?
So, no, but here's the deal with that.
You have a bad memory?
No, Turkey they've been pronouncing it that way for like 100+ years. And they passed a resolution, I think it was like in the 20s.
2020.
1920s.
Oh, sorry.
And they've been pronouncing it that way since the 1920s. And the rest of the world just like, nah, you're Turkey. So I think what they've been trying to do is get everybody else to pronounce it the way they do.
But it didn't. That push for Turkey instead of Turkey didn't begin until 2021, and it was actually December of 2021, so it was almost 2022 when Erdogan and the Turkish government launched a global rebranding campaign.
Yeah.
Like they did it, but that is fairly new. Basically, 2022 is when it started, the beginning of 2022. And I will say...
Well, either way, it's still the rest of the world's fault because they've been pronouncing it one way and we're all just refusing to go along with it. And we have been for over a century. So that's on us.
Well, yes and no, because...
How is it not us? Of course it's us.
Because there are a lot of countries, like we still say Spain. We don't say España or however you would say it, right? We still say Spain. And so there are a lot of countries where we say the English way of pronouncing that name. And so if they want to be Turkey in English, that's why they had to do a global campaign, because every country is going to say every other country's name in their respective language.
So it's still our fault. We're choosing not to call it the way they pronounce it the way they want.
I mean, why are they special then? Like, if it's our fault, then we need to call every country. We need to call it España.
Well, I would like to know the history about that because they probably are okay with the fact that other countries call them Spain.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal. I'm just saying. I think it worked in 3.5 years, 4 years. They got the whole world to change. That's pretty impressive.
Here's what I know about Matthew Liberatore, who pitched last night. And look, I have been sort of, I've been feeling like it's okay. I mean, this is one of those seasons where we're still trying to feel out what they've got on the roster and, make decisions for the future. And they have played themselves into a competitive situation where the playoffs are an actual real possibility. I mean, we're not halfway through the season yet, but they're playing good ball. And so I've been more or less advocating for them, just letting him go. Let Liberatore go, see what happens. But man, the more he starts, the harder and harder it gets to justify putting him out there. Another 6 runs last night. He had a 6-run inning in the 4th, and he could not get out of that inning. Well, he did. I mean, he got they kept him into the game, but he could not get out of that inning with damage done. So 6 runs, 8 hits, gave up a couple of home runs. I don't know how long they can go with this. And my guess is they'll do something else at some point, and maybe a trade will happen. I'm not sure that there are going to be a whole lot of takers for him, but a trade could happen and maybe open something up, or they could just call somebody up. But they're going to have to do something about that, I think.
Do you believe he is on the path of the 2 pitchers that you mentioned earlier this morning?
Mikolas and Fedde?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it kind of looks that way. Right now, he is performing like that. So I don't know what they're going to do. And all of that happened. That was last night's game against the Diamondbacks in which they lost, gave up another 9 runs. They've given up a lot of runs going back to the Kansas City series. They gave up 30 runs over the whole series. They've given up a decent amount, then 9 last night. So it's not looking good right now. But they're still in good position. They just have to get back on track here.
So our buddy Steven Richer texted last night. And he
former Maricopa County recorder.
That's right. And he texted me, "You guys can't lose to the Snakes. We're very mid."
That's right.
He goes, "You can't lose to these guys.
Yeah.
We're very mid."
He's right.
So Matthew Liberatore, 3 wins, 5 losses this year, 5.56 ERA. Jacob is not being helpful. Jacob is watching on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
He says, "I was there at the game. And I yelled, 'You suck,' for the first time in my life." That's not...
Hey, Gilmore, you suck, you jackass.
You know...
It's not helpful. That's mean.
It's one thing to do it at home to your television. It is something else to do it in the crowd. I've never done that. I've never yelled at a player in the crowd like, "You stink."
And if you're going to do it to the opponent.
You're allowed to, though. But if you buy a ticket and you're a Cardinals fan, you're allowed to do whatever you want as long as you... don't say bad words for the kids. But you don't
yell at your own team.
Sure you can.
Maybe you yell at the opponent. Maybe if you want to yell at Pete Crow Armstrong.
Well, he's not playing. By the way, but he's actually playing better now.
I was just saying, if you wanted to yell at him because he's on, your arch rival and he's a star, you can yell, "You suck."
You know what I said last night or yesterday on the Gas House Gang? So this month in June, he's given his 4 starts. Well, first of all, his first 3 starts of the month, he gave up 3 runs, then 4 runs, then 5 runs. And I said yesterday, man, I hope he doesn't give up 6 tonight. And he gave up 6.
Well, now it's a bit.
He has to give up 7 next time.
Now he has to give up 7.
If they let him start his next game, which I think they probably will. I don't really know what they're planning, but yeah, he's gotten progressively worse as the month has gone on. His ERA in June is 10.34.
Is that good?
No, it's really bad. It's probably 7 points higher than good. So anyway...
But that's really frustrating, and I don't like yelling at the players.
I don't mean to single him out, but he's, hey, he's a problem. Right now he's a problem. He's not pitching well for them. Also, yesterday, we had the press conference. I know that after the announcement of the reorganization of leadership structure for the Cardinals, meaning Bill DeWitt III is essentially taking over now as the CEO of the Cardinals. Mm-hmm. And Anuk Karunaratne is now in charge of business operations, which is going to be more off-field stuff, which is what he's been doing. So ballpark projects, ballpark village, off-field stuff, that's what he's going to be taking care of. So a lot of the same people are going to be around. And I don't care that, let me put it this way. There are people who probably see that and go, okay, same old stuff. It's the same Cardinals. Everything's staying in the family, so they're going to operate the same. Well, they're already proving that they're not operating the same. They have already taken a different direction in the last 8, 9, 10 months or so. So I don't think that you can, and maybe even longer than that. So I don't think that you can argue that there isn't going to be a new, fresh perspective because Chaim Bloom came from outside the organization. Anuk came from outside the organization. They have brought in some fresh blood and fresh eyes. So I do think they are headed in the right direction, but they're going to have to still prove that. It might take a couple of years for us to see the results, though.
Yeah, and I will say not just fresh blood and fresh eyes, but also like kind of big names in their respective positions. And with Chaim Bloom being like the wonder kid in Tampa, right? And then he went to Boston where they really didn't give him enough reign. I don't think they gave him free reign in Boston, but he was a big name. And Anuk Karunaratne was huge in what he did with the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah. Like these guys are and were at the top of their game when the Cardinals brought them in.
I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but I did see the comment. Jacob followed up on. He yelled, "You suck" at Libertor
and I
last
said, don't
night.
do that. I said, yell it at the opponents. Don't yell it at your own team.
And so Jacob followed up and said, "I don't yell at the opponents. They're our guests."
Okay, what is this?
That's
Sounds
very
like
nice.
Something you would say.
It's polite.
I read that in your dumb voice.
What a polite thing, Jacob. I'm on your side. It's the Chris and Amy show. We will talk to Matt Pauley at 10 o'clock. We'll get his thoughts on Libertor, the Birds, the restructuring, all that stuff. He anchored the coverage yesterday because we had it on KMOX. Major Garrett at 10:30 today. As Amy mentioned, comedian Ryan Hamilton will be on the show at 11. He's got a new Netflix special out called This Just Hit Me. And we will talk to Dr. F. Perry Wilson, one of our favorites. Got a lot of medical stuff to get into with him. There's an interesting thing about sham knee surgeries somehow
This
working.
is unbelievable.
We need to ask him about that.
The placebo effect surgery? What?
Also some real progress in pancreatic cancer research. So all that coming up on the show today on KMOX.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering for Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Lockridge, and I'm the host of a new podcast from Odyssey called Family Lore. In this podcast, I'm going to have people on to tell unusual and sometimes far-fetched stories about their families.
I've heard my whole life that she invented the margarita.
And then we're going to investigate those stories and find out how much of it is true.
He gets a patent 1 month before the Wright brothers. Oh my God.
Please follow and listen to Family Lore, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
I've been burned before. I was just repeating the same patterns. It turns out I had a type.
Workplaces everywhere are looking for love. And by love, we mean the easy way to order food at work. EasyCater.
I thought ordering from great restaurants at work had to be complicated, but then I met EasyCater. So many options, so flexible, and when I ordered for 50 gluten-free vegans without going over budget, I knew I'd found the platform I wanted to do life and lunch with.
Fall in love with EasyCater. Start an order at EasyCater.com.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
A divorce is more than just legal paperwork. It's a life change. The stress, the uncertainty, the tough conversations. Cordell & Cordell understands what it's really like to face the unknown. The law firm of Cordell & Cordell has been representing clients during these transitions for over 35 years, helping you focus on what matters most. If you or someone you know is facing a divorce or family law matter, visit CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Love your low mortgage rate but need extra cash? Don't refinance. Get a Scott Credit Union home equity line of credit for home renovations or debt consolidation. Learn more at scu.org. Rates vary. Terms and conditions apply.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union and Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
Hey, you're going to talk about, I know we're going to keep it sportsy just for a minute.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, and you'll just have to deal with it.
Wait, who are you talking to?
The people listening, because you know they're crabby about stuff. Like, stop with the... Well, they don't really say that. But in case there's one person out there who's grouchy about
He's
it.
already texted.
Who?
A314 says, is this a sports show?
Well, here's what I got for you, pal. Is it a guy? Do we know?
Probably.
Is it a dude?
It has the vibe of a guy. I don't even know what
probably
that
is.
means. It's a text.
Excuse me?
All right, 314. Here's what I got for you. You go take a walk on the river. But I have a couple of other things. What we do. One of them, our guy, Robbie Avila, with the Billikens, he is going to continue to play basketball. He has signed, and this is according to his social media. He put it out on Instagram today. He signed what's called an Exhibit 10 contract.
Never heard of
with
it.
the Los Angeles Lakers, which it's basically because the draft happened in the first, he did not get drafted. So what it means is that he's got an invite to training camp, and they're just going to get a look at him. They'll take a look at him. They'll see if they like him. If they keep him around, then he might go to the G League, the summer league.
Yeah.
And if they keep him beyond that, he'll get a league minimum salary if he stays on the 15-man roster with the Lakers. So I think it's probably a long shot for that.
Yeah.
But it is an opportunity
It's exciting.
for our guy.
And so help me, if he's on the Lakers and then he big times us.
You know what? I got a feeling that
I would
he
have
might.
my feelings
I
hurt.
got a feeling he might.
Really?
So I believe we're trying to.
We should preemptively reach out to him.
Yeah, we're efforting Coach Schertz, Josh
Okay.
Schertz, for some time in the next few
We
days.
should ask Coach Schertz if he thinks Robbie is
And
going
they
to
got
big time us.
They got a great relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it in his ear. Like, dude, you better not let this guy big time us if he becomes a Laker.
That would be hurtful, honestly.
Yeah. So congrats to him and good luck to him. Hopefully he can find himself on the big time roster.
Speaking of great relationships, Jordan Kyra is gone.
This guy.
Sorry.
Very well loved Jordan
Listen,
Kyrou.
I am excited for him to have a fresh start. You want the best for the guy, and you just know the best wasn't going to be here. And Jordan Kyrou did issue a statement. He posted on Instagram that, saying goodbye to St. Louis. He said, there are no words to express how grateful I am for my time in St. Louis. Thank you to this entire organization from top to bottom for believing in me, to all of my teammates throughout the years. Thank you for becoming brothers and lifelong friends. And to the fans, thank you for making this city feel like home. I made memories here that I'll always carry with me forever, and St. Louis will always hold a special place in my heart. Thank you for everything.
Well,
so there's that.
yeah.
He also said yesterday...
You're not buying it, are you?
Listen, I do know he has some good friendships,
You know what?
right? As Matthew DeFranks pointed out, he has some really good friendships, but I'm not sure that he loved the St. Louis media. And like we said, I mean, I hate to bring it up, but there are a couple things you need to do in St. Louis to be loved by fans. And it's not be the best player on the ice. It's not score 50 goals.
It's try.
It's to try and to show up with your lunch pail and have that blue-collar attitude every day on the ice. That's what St. Louis fans like, and he had some issues, right? He was a healthy scratch for multiple games because, as I said, no one should ever beat him to the puck. He is faster than Connor McDavid when he wants to be, and like you said, sometimes a new environment will bring out the best in him. But I did want to say, yesterday, the Hockey News reported is that he says it's about signing with the Washington Capitals. It's nice seeing a team really want me. Well,
Well, do something to make yourself wanted. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Yeah, so...
And like we said,
All
it was
right.
really tough having covered the Blues under Chief Craig Berube, it was really tough when all Kyrou had to say to the media was, grateful to Coach Berube, brought a Stanley Cup to St. Louis. We're going to miss him. All he had to do was that.
It's not hard.
Not hard. And he said, he's not my coach anymore.
Well,
no comment.
Brutal.
Can't do that. And then he got booed. And then he got booed by the fans. And like we said, it is not easy to get booed by fans in St. Louis.
No, that's around sports. People pretty universal. And cities around the country, they will get behind you if you work hard. They will get behind you if the effort is obvious, that they can tell you're putting in the work and you're trying. Like you're on the field and you're laying it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
They will get behind you. And in St. Louis, they'll get behind you even more, right? Mm-hmm. So that's all he had to do. It's all he had to do. And it's a shame. It's always interesting to me when somebody who's got incredible talent doesn't get that part.
He should be a 40-goal scorer. He should be a 40-goal scorer. That's how talented he is.
There's a guy I went to college with, really gifted basketball player, really gifted. And I have heard from multiple sources that, and this was back in the late 90s. So when he was drafted by the Clippers, he got drafted by the Clippers, second round. I want to say it was the second pick. And they knew, teams know all about you before they bring you into the building. They know as much about you as they possibly can. And they knew that he had a little bit of a weight problem. And they told him, they said, here's your target weight. Do not show up to camp over this. And the dude showed up like 15 pounds over.
Yeah.
And they just sent him home.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is your shot at the league, dude. You have all the talents in the world. Gifted, just smooth, and just show up underweight. It's... I couldn't believe it.
I tried harder for the 4th of July 5K.
You could be in the NBA, bro.
It's wild.
You could be a gifted goal scorer in the NHL, and all you have to do is just try a little bit. That's it. Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji. We've got more for you. There is a thing that a Schnucks in South City is doing that somebody in this room thinks is pretty funny, and we are going to bring that to you. Also, more great Sean Malone audio.
I love that guy.
KMOX reporter Sean Malone. He is the best. We've got a lot for you coming up. Thanks for being with us here on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
Jordan Walker has brought energy.
There's a ball that's lined to right field. Walker comes on, he dives, and he has it.
Excitement.
Pitch is hit into left field, base hit, Jordan Walker.
And big moments.
It's a grand slam for Jordan Walker.
A spot on the All-Star team takes more than talent. It takes your vote. KMOX is calling on fans across Cardinals Nation to get involved. Make your voice count. Go to MLB.com/vote. Select Jordan Walker and cast your ballot today. Vote Jordan Walker for the All-Star Game.
Don't miss Mosby Building Arts Home Improvement Show, Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on KMOX. One of the last call-in shows where you can get live answers to your remodeling, design, and construction questions. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
79 degrees, and it's humid out there. Intervals of clouds and sunshine with a thunderstorm. A high of 86 tonight, cloudy and humid with a couple of showers and heavy thunderstorms, a low of 71.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Onyx, I keep having stomach issues. Please make me a doctor's appointment.
Okay, are you suffering from diarrhea, bloating, gas, or oily stools? If so, you may want to ask your doctor if it could actually be a problem with your pancreas, called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI.
My pancreas? How is EPI treated?
A prescription medicine like Creon, pancrelipase, is used to treat people who can't digest food normally because their pancreas doesn't make enough enzymes. Creon is the #1 prescribed treatment for EPI.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you are allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor, and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon. You can learn more at 1-800-633-9110.
Before your appointment, visit creoninfo.com. That's CREON info.com.
Hi, I'm Mark Cantor.
The people around here are hardworking people, just like you. And when someone in your family gets hurt in a car wreck, everything can change very fast. That's why having a local lawyer matters. At Cantor Injury Law, we know these towns, these roads, and the people who drive them every day. When you call us, you're calling a local team with boots on the ground, ready to fight for you. You can count on Cantor.
CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
The smartest way to do your homework is Heckman Lumber.
Thinking about building a new deck? Start with the trained professionals at Hackman Lumber, home of one of the largest inventories of decking materials and accessories in Missouri. From treated lumber and cedar to all the leading names in decking, their team will help you choose the perfect materials for your dream deck. Then finish it off with endless railing options, balusters, and LED deck lighting to bring your backyard to life. Hackman Lumber will not be undersold on in-stock decking materials, guaranteed. Do it yourself? Their team is ready to help. Also, check out their expanded paint department with custom color matching. And don't forget, follow Hackman Lumber on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to catch weekly deals, specials, and project inspiration all season long. Or visit us at HackmanSTL.com. Locations in St. Peters, Troy, and Pacific, Missouri.
Amendment 4 on the August ballot hides some ugly facts. It would create a new minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that are citizen-led.
I just say no to that.
Amendment 4 permanently ends majority rule for citizen-led ballot issues.
I'm a no on 4.
Politicians put Amendment 4 on the ballot to severely limit citizens' constitutional power.
I say no on 4.
4 is a power grab by politicians. It lets one congressional district veto reforms backed by the majority of voters statewide, giving as few as 5% of voters control over the rest of us.
That's why I say no to 4.
4 would make it nearly impossible to rein in out-of-control politicians.
I say heck no.
4 takes away our constitutional power we've used for over 100 years to pass reforms that politicians wouldn't. Keep majority rule and your power. Just say no to Amendment 4. It's an ugly politician power grab. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
Today, the Cards, the D-backs.
Cameron Total Access 550. First pitch 6:45.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
You know what? Feels like I'm at Schnucks.
It does?
Yeah.
Oh. Feels like I'm watching PBS.
Feels like I'm loitering.
So the Schnucks at Hampton and Gravois and South City is using music to keep away unwanted guests. So there are a lot of homeless people, vagrants, people using, I don't even know if it's right to say vagrants, but drug use and other illegal activity has long been an issue at this South City Schnucks. And in fact, Schnucks has paid a lot, for as long as I've known, for years, they've paid for extra security around the South City location. And I know they've gotten into a tiff with Megan Green, who is not a fan of police officers and doesn't want more police, and said, well, you're just going to have to pay for your own security. And they said, this is not fair. It's a tax for us to be in this city or in this part of the city if we have to pay for extra security. So it has been a huge deal for years now. And it's funny that, well, let me take this back. It is not original to use music to keep homeless people from hanging out or sleeping in a certain area. What I'm surprised is that it's classical music, because there was a park in Florida that really had trouble with drug use and people sleeping in like gazebos in this park after the park closed at night. So they blasted Baby Shark.
Yeah.
They played Baby Shark because people aren't going to sit and loiter or sleep there. Classical music sounds kind of pleasant, to be honest. Is it just really loud?
Well, I know that some of the residents they interviewed residents if they could hear it. And I think a couple reported that they could, but it didn't seem like they were complaining about hearing it. That's the thing, is you could do that, but you have to be careful about how loud that music is. I do know of one gas station. It's not here. It's on the south side of Chicago, and they do that. And it's like it goes from classical music to children's music to And I heard it one time. I go, what are they doing? And then it occurred to me what they were doing. They just don't want people hanging outside. And the music was loud, but nobody lives. It's
Right
all
there.
businesses in that area.
Well, and that's the thing is, my guess is not only does Schnucks not want to play the music too loudly because it would bother the homeowners, but also your customers don't want to have their eardrums blown out every time they go in and out of the store. So I imagine it has to be a volume issue as well as a selection issue, because while classical music isn't as offensive, obviously, as Baby Shark, Schnucks can't play Baby Shark all day because customers are going to be annoyed beyond belief.
Well, here's the thing about the classical music that I think Schnucks should be careful with. I use it sometimes to unwind, and then sometimes I'll fall asleep. So
If they ruin it for you?
no.
Oh.
That you're just going to get people to fall asleep outside.
Well, that's what I mean.
If you're trying to get people to not stay there, classical music might put them to sleep. So they'll be there longer. This could backfire. It's an unintended consequence. I don't think they've thought through.
Okay, I'm not trying to be mean here. But what if they played Taylor Swift songs, because they kind of all sound the same?
No, those rock.
But the thing is, like, it wouldn't bother customers because a lot of customers will say, oh, I like Taylor Swift, but I do think homeless people hanging out or trying to sleep would get so sick of it after a
Why
while.
do you think homeless people wouldn't like Taylor Swift?
After you want 12 hours of Taylor Swift?
I don't think I want 12 hours of anything.
But I would say I could handle 12 hours of classical because there's no lyrics.
Classical all sounds the same.
Yeah.
But it's less offensive than Taylor Swift by a lot.
To you.
I think it'd be funny if all the homeless people leave, but instead they attract now large numbers of like a very highbrow crowd and professors in tweed suits, and this is a great spot for music. I say, they're all coming to enjoy the music
might
now.
like it? The entrepreneurial homeless people who fixed up that broken car in Dutchtown and got a battery and now driving around. They're gonna say, "Hey, ho, should we drive to Schnucks and listen to some classic music, classical music?"
You'll develop a British accent.
I say.
Even though
I say,
know,
this automobile is working delightfully.
even though most of the classical music is not English.
You're right.
No, it's not. But he said highbrow, and I automatically go to a British accent. Speaking of highbrow, the St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb wants to throw hands, I think.
Oh, she does?
Well, not really. Let's start it this way. Sean Malone was at the meeting.
I was the only member of the press in the 40-minute long meeting that could have amounted to an email and matched the feeling of a petty divorce hearing.
Wait. Was that our meeting with Steve? What's he
That
talking
could have
about?
amounted to an email
Oh,
and
my
matched the
gosh,
feeling
yeah.
of a petty divorce hearing.
So apparently, County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb, they've been butting heads with Dr. Kanika Cunningham, the director of County Public Health Department. So Dr. Cunningham and Shalonda Webb are really going at it. And apparently bystanders at the meeting were shocked to hear Shalonda Webb mutter, quote, "I want to punch her in the blanking face."
What?
But as she left the meeting, they said they're not sure if Shalonda Webb was referring to Dr. Kanika Cunningham or one of the advocates pushing for the council to fund a violence prevention program. They don't know who was the object of the she, right? They don't know which person, but apparently Elliot Davis was there because he's everywhere. And they said you can kind of hear the last part of it on his recording, but it's very hard to hear. So primarily it's being reported by bystanders. But my big thing is, man, this county council, there's so much drama in local government between
I'm going to tell
the
you
Board
something.
of Aldermen and the county council.
The county council is far more entertaining than the city council.
The Board of Aldermen?
Yes, the Board of Aldermen.
But what about last year when Megan Green shut it down in the middle? And there was something wild going on though in the middle of it. There was, oh my gosh, I can't remember what the couple wild parts were, but I think it goes in waves. I think it ebbs and flows because the Board of Aldermen had their drama. Remember when they had the federal prosecutor watching And they're like, federal prosecutors don't go to county
You got a lady
councils.
threatening to punch somebody in the face. What are you talking
Well,
about?
she didn't threaten. She just said she wanted to.
Okay.
You do that all the time. You walk around here saying you want to punch everybody in the face.
No, I just you.
If any bystanders.
No, actually, I only threaten listeners. I don't threaten you. I don't threaten Matt. I just threaten listeners. Because if they don't do what I want them to do, then, they might have it coming. They might have it coming.
At any rate.
If you don't download the Odyssey app and get it on your phone, if you don't come out to our day at the ballpark last week, if you missed it, if you don't text into the show, if you don't vote for us when it's time to vote for us for stuff, I'll come to your house.
All right.
And throat punch you.
No, you can't.
I can't?
Lunch. You can't say that.
Oh.
Okay. There's so many stories, not enough time, but we do need to hear from our texters on this one. 314-436-7900. So a man who was at the January 6th riot dressed as George Washington in a very elaborate George Washington outfit, and he had a sword. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison for entering the Capitol on January 6th, dressed like George Washington. He has been invited to be a speaker at the official Vernon County 4th of July celebration. This story is in St. Louis, from our buddies at St. Louis Magazine. So 5 years ago, as they note, Isaac Yoder drew significant attention in the January 6th riot, in large part due to the fact that he was dressed as George Washington.
So...
And he had a metal sword and a wooden flagpole. And in fact, that's right, when he went into the Capitol, Yoder, dressed as George Washington with a sword and a flagpole, made his own impromptu speech, saying, quote, "We've been so weak, we've lost any kind of credibility because all we do is cave." He then allegedly told people not to, quote, "do bad things."
Like break into the Capitol.
Well, he was already there.
Oh, no.
He was
no,
already in the Capitol.
Actually, I'm sorry. The Capitol Police let them in willingly. That's what that was.
The guy, Yoder, was charged with 4 misdemeanors. He declined a plea offer from prosecutors in which he would have pled guilty to 1. Instead, he opted for a bench trial, and the judge found him guilty on all counts, including violent entry and disorderly conduct in the Capitol. He was sentenced to 1 year in prison. He later sought a reduction in his sentence.
So he's now going to speak at this fair, at the 4th of July celebration in. So this is, it's Nevada. It's like Nevada, Missouri, which is south of Kansas City. It's between Joplin and Casey.
So we can blame Kansas City on this one. This is not.
I don't know, dude, but what could this person possibly have to say that's interesting?
Well, according to.
There's nothing interesting he has to say. Oh, great. I can't wait to go watch this dumb speech.
Well, here's the thing.
I broke into the Capitol like an idiot.
Was he hired independently as a George Washington impersonator, and they didn't know about his Capitol offense?
I
no
doubt
pun
it.
intended.
I bet they knew all about, because he was in. There's reporting on him from 5 years ago about how he broke into the Capitol and he happened to be.
But if you Googled George Washington impersonators and you came across this guy and you called his number, would you say, "And by the way, did you happen to storm the Capitol 5 years ago?" Yeah. I wouldn't think that. There's a guy who skis dressed as George Washington. I don't think he didn't break into the Capitol. Maybe this is just a George Washington impersonator trying to make a living. At any rate, I think they took his name off the itinerary. They said it, apparently the St. Louis Magazine said his name was on the event flyer, but if you go online, his name is no longer on the event flyer because he was going to perform right after the national anthem and the hot dog eating contest.
Okay, so then he should be completely removed from the proceedings. Is that what's happened? Or they just don't want people, they don't want to advertise that he's going to be there? Save your money.
It's a pretty good outfit, though.
Give it to somebody else.
He looks great.
He should sell it to somebody
And
else.
I bet it's hard to find a wooden flagpole these days.
Wooden teeth, too.
You could probably
make one.
Yes. You could fashion yourself a wooden flagpole. His name's Yoder? Yoder, Yeah. You know, when I saw that last name, I thought that this sounds like somebody from the Bronx watching Star Wars. You know? What's this Yoder doing?
Yoder.
That's how they had an R to things that don't need an R.
Our good friend John Hancock is correcting us. Apparently, it's Nevada, Missouri.
Well, that's even worse.
This story couldn't get any worse.
Couldn't get any worse.
But his outfit is on point. Not going to lie. It's a very attractive George Washington outfit.
Awesome.
Put him in the hot dog eating contest. Combine the two.
Well, he wants to be able to fit in that suit.
Sir, you are the hot dog.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Matt Pauley talking Cardinals baseball with us at 10. Major Garrett at 10:30. We got a fun hour coming. We got a fun show. And then the Gas House Gang at noon today.
I've already had fun. This was a fun few topics we got going on.
Well, let's bring it down with Did You See This next.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. A question I get all the time is how did we become the largest injury firm in the world? We have over 1,000 lawyers in all 50 states and close to 6,000 coworkers. Our call center is on duty 24/7. You can reach us at any time at forthepeople.com. But the real reason is we won a lot. When you visit our website, go to our verdicts and settlements. There you will see what our clients were offered and what they were awarded at trial. All those verdicts help us resolve many cases fairly and early. You see, nothing beats reputation. The insurance industry knows who we are. We even have insurance adjusters call us for representation because they know too. We've made it easy. On your mobile device or computer, go to forthepeople.com and we will get busy. It's that easy. Call today. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The soundtrack of classic rock is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner joining forces for one epic night of legendary hits and unforgettable memories. It's the Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. From Sweet Home Alabama to Cold as Ice. Don't miss your chance to experience these two Rock and Roll Hall of Fame acts in one incredible show. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on the select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Bill, that's a big smile for an old politician.
I'm thinking about our plan. It's slick enough to make a lobbyist blush. First, we hoodwink voters with Amendment 5. Tell them it's a tax cut. Once they're hooked, we decide who pays the higher taxes.
So it's not a tax cut plan, and we don't get a say?
Right, just swaps who pays the tax, but it does remove 3 voter-passed taxpayer constitutional protections. That lets us levy new taxes on services, increase sales taxes, and even tax home sales. And voters will no longer get to vote on tax hikes.
Higher sales taxes on groceries, gas, service taxes on doctor visits, childcare, and even rent on apartments. Jeez. Taxes could exceed 20%.
Sure, they figure that up to 80% of taxpayers will pay more taxes. Many, hundreds more. Seniors, they'll get hit even harder. But our big donors will cut a fat hog.
The ones getting butchered by Amendment 5 are most taxpayers. I'm voting no on 5.
Paid for by Missourians for fair taxation.
What's better than watching Team USA in the FIFA World Cup? Watching it with an ice-cold beer in your hand. And there's no better place to do both of those things than at the Beer Garden at Anheuser-Busch. A huge TV, every seat in the house is great. The beer is as fresh and as cold as you can find it. Bring your crew early, take a brewery tour, and then settle in for all the World Cup action. Visit BudweiserTours.com and experience USA Soccer at the Beer Garden. BudweiserTours.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, I guess I'll bring this up because you said this morning, apropos of absolutely nothing, that it's almost Christmas. But it is actually the literal halfway point to Christmas, June 25th.
Didn't even realize it when I said that.
Isn't that wild? Do you think
Yeah.
your subconscious knew?
It's possible.
Because you love Christmas.
There's some Instagram account I follow that it's a Christmas account, and I don't know if it's AI or what, but it's like every Thursday they post only 56 more Thursdays till Christmas. Stuff like that, which
Yeah.
is very funny.
Man, I love Christmas.
Yeah, it's the best. isn't
Anytime,
it?
and I encourage all of our listeners, anytime you're ever really mad at Ronj and think, man, I can't stand this guy, just remember when he was a little boy.
Just remember you're wrong, number one, and number two.
When he was a little boy for Halloween, he dressed up as a Christmas tree because he loves Christmas so much.
I do.
It's
So what about
so cute.
it? Leave me alone.
And you showed me the picture.
It's pretty cute.
It's adorable. And I think about that every time I want to punch you in the face.
Oh, and I'm the one threatening to hit people. Did you see the city of Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is just outside Boston? And I have said this, dude, I've been talking about Boston, how much I love it, but they close too early. They're just, you would think they'd be more of a drinking kind of city.
No, you can't. They stop selling alcohol after 10.
Well, there is the Board of Commissioners is looking at the possibility of proposing a 30-minute limit on serving drinks in bars, meaning you cannot buy more than one drink every 30 minutes.
Holy cow.
You have to wait 30 minutes to buy another
Wait,
drink.
what? Why? I thought Boston was supposed to be cool.
It is, except for this. But pretty much this is universally hated. There are quotes like, unless you want egg timers going off every 30 minutes in every bar and restaurant in Cambridge. It's, I don't know what they're trying to do here or what the purpose of it is. But how would you keep a tab on? I guess
Your card. It would have to be.
if you're paying by card, that'd be the only way. And I guess most people do. You go to the terminal and go, it's 11:28 and you ordered a drink
Sorry,
at 11:08. Sorry.
I'm buying a drink for a friend who showed up late. Sorry, he's going to have to
You
buy
can't
his
do
own
it.
drink.
Yes. And
This doesn't make any sense.
there was one comment that said, so let's say a restaurant closes at 10 and you come in at 9, little after 9, you wouldn't be able to buy a bottle of wine for the table, even if there are 10 people there.
Because they don't sell full bottles after 9?
Because there are too many drinks in the bottle. There are more drinks than
That can't be.
every
none
30
of this
minutes.
makes sense.
It makes absolutely no sense. You
Come
might as well
on.
just be Utah if you're going to do this.
Can you
Boston?
imagine what the Tottenham would think of that?
They would hate it.
They would hate it.
They wouldn't go back. That's one way to guarantee they never go back.
And I can't think of a worse thing than being so lame that the Tottenham doesn't want to visit your town
Also,
anymore.
real quick, speaking of lame, in Sarasota, Florida, there's a roundabout that they just recently built, and they had to put stoplights in it because the people can't figure out how to use it. They don't know how to use a roundabout. Way to go, Florida men. When we come back, we will talk a little Cardinals baseball, what to do with Matthew Liberatore. Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, joins the show when we come back on KMOX.
This is Jordan Walker. Celebrate Black Heritage Day, presented presented by your quality Ford dealers on Sunday, June 28th at Busch Stadium. This special culture and community event honors the impact, history, and legacy of the Black community in baseball and beyond. With a special themed ticket, you'll receive an exclusive Cardinals jersey designed by Corey Rogers. And don't miss a special heritage celebration in Budweiser Terrace before the game. Details and tickets at cardinals.com/theme.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at Cardinals.com.
It's 250 years, 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Hence 8-1 exclusions apply.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 10 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. Just in, the Supreme Court sides with the maker of the Roundup weed killer today in a ruling expected to block thousands of lawsuits that allege the company failed to warn people the product could cause cancer. The case came before the justices after a tidal wave of litigation that included some multi-billion-dollar verdicts against global agrochemical manufacturer Bayer. Bayer acquired Roundup when it bought its original manufacturer, Monsanto, in 2018. In a 7-2 ruling today, the High Court found that the company cannot be sued in state courts because federal regulations have found a cancer link unlikely and do not require a warning label. The Federal Reserve's primary metric for gauging inflation is out. ABC's Jim Ryan says it doesn't bode well for an interest rate cut anytime soon.
The Fed's Board of Governors would like to see an annual inflation rate of 2% before lowering interest rates. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Index hasn't hit that mark since early 2021, and last month inflation accelerated 4.1% over May of last year, nearly guaranteeing not a rate cut anytime soon, but an interest rate hike at the Fed's next meeting in July.
You can now track your shuttle at St. Louis Lambert Airport. Lambert's Roger Lott says the feature runs 24/7 and is live, allowing flyers to better predict when their shuttles will arrive.
It's a live tracking feature, and it's on all the shuttles that we have. We have the terminal-to-terminal shuttles also in the tracking. it's a useful feature.
You can find the SuperPark shuttle tracking feature at flystl.com or on the Lambert mobile app. It's been the home of the New York Knicks championship run already this year, but there are possible signs the New York's Madison Square Garden could be the venue for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. New York City officials told ABC News an event company filed a permit that requested the street outside the venue be closed around the 4th of July holiday. The permit also said the size of the event could be between 500 and 999 people. ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
The event company declined to comment. So did representatives for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. It wouldn't be the first wedding at Madison Square Garden. Music legend Sly Stone married model and actress Kathy Silva there in 1974. 20,000 people attended the concert spectacular.
It's now 10:03. Let's get a check of the forecast.
KMOX AccuWeather. We have a flood watch from 1 this afternoon through 7 a.m. tomorrow. More clouds and sun and humid today with a thunderstorm or two, high 85. Tonight, cloudy and muggy with a couple of showers and heavy thunderstorms, especially late. Watch for flash flooding, the low 72. Tomorrow, cloudy and humid with a couple of showers and a heavy thunderstorm. Those thunderstorms can produce flooding, downpours, hail, and damaging winds. The high tomorrow, 81. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Sunshine now, 79 in Florissant. It's 82 in St. Peters, 80 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
The pitch is swung on, a ground ball to the second baseman. Vargas throws out his counterpart. Weatherholt is out, and this ballgame has come to an end. The Diamondbacks used a 6-run fourth inning on the way to a 9-4 victory tonight over the Cardinals.
Yo, Paulie! Paulie's a great name. Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Yeah, that 6-run inning is all the Diamondbacks would need to win that one last night. Cardinals are back at it this evening. 5:50 is our pregame show, and we've got the first pitch at 6:45 on KMOX and the free Odyssey app. We are joined now on the Quiver River Electric guest line by Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, which happens at 5 o'clock weekdays, and then pre- and post-game coverage as well. Matt's with us now. How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right. How are you guys?
We're okay. What do they do about Matthew Liberatore? Because, again, for him, and I made the joke during Gas House Gang, because this month, in his starts leading up to it, he had given up 3 runs, then 4 runs, then 5 runs. And I said, well, I hope he doesn't give up 6. And he gave up 6. So it's getting progressively worse, and the body of work this year has not been good. And it goes back to last year, too, at the end of the year. So what do they do with him?
Yeah, so a couple his ERA in the month of June over those 4 starts you just mentioned, it's 10.34, which is pretty bad. Also, you mentioned that he did not have a great finish to the year last year. Well, really, he only had a good first 2 months. If we go back to June 1st.
Yeah, it's like the end of May, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so April and May were good. Since June 1st of last year, he has made 34 starts, and he has pitched to a 5.29 ERA over those 34 starts. Josh Jacobs from MLB.com ran some numbers I saw last night on social media. He hasn't thrown enough to be a qualified pitcher over that period, but if he did have enough innings, that would make him the worst pitcher from an ERA standpoint since June 1st of last year. So the numbers are pretty damning. Look, we saw what he did for the first 2 months of last year, and I think the Cardinals feel like they can still get him back to that point, and I don't even disagree with them. That's fine. I'd love for that to happen. I just think there has to be some not admission like they say it publicly, because you don't want to say it publicly, but for them internally, there's almost an admission that when you're throwing him out every 5th day, that you're doing it because you feel like him being on the big league team and him taking big league starts every 5th day and being able to work on things in that way, that is almost more important than him giving you a chance to win every 5th day, because right now he simply is not doing that.
So, yeah, I know they want to give him every opportunity, but it does seem like this opportunity has been a good one. I mean, he's had plenty of chances to try and figure it out. If he's not in the rotation, I know how I feel about this, and I'm going to assume that we'll agree on it, but is he a candidate to go back to the bullpen?
Yeah, I think it comes back to how the Cardinals really view him. If they view him as somebody that they are all in on him being a starting pitcher, and they are very convicted in the fact that who he was in the first 2 months of the season last year absolutely is something on the table. Well, if they have that belief about him, then I think you send him to Memphis and let him continue to start. But if they are not overly convicted about that, if it is not something that they are just 100% convinced that they can get him back to, I think you look to him to the bullpen because he has shown the ability to be a really solid relief pitcher. So I think it's all connected to what the Cardinals think of him and think of his future.
So let's say they are going to be, act swiftly. And I know that there will be some fans who say, well, this isn't swift. They've let him pitch for almost 3 months and he's been doing this. But I think in baseball terms, it's not for a guy who was your opening day starter. So if they do make this call and they go somewhere else, is it Dobbins? Does he come back? How do you think they handle it?
Yeah, I think Dobbins would get the first opportunity for sure. He's already been the guy who's been given that chance, and he's actually been pitching on the same day as Libby. He did not perform well yesterday at AAA. He only threw 4 innings. He took his first loss of the year at Memphis, but that being said, his Memphis numbers are pretty good. So, yeah, I don't have much doubt that if they were to move on from Liberatore in some form or fashion, it would be Dobbins. But look, there's other guys there. I mean, Bryson Motts is somebody who they've wanted to give a start to this year. At some point, you want to get Quinn Matthews up. So there's choices for sure, but Dobbins would be the first guy.
Hey, Matt, with speaking about Liberatore, and if the Cardinals were to, move on from Liberatore, and then you approach the trade deadline, and I know the Cardinals, are in the hunt right now for a playoff and being in that wild card spot, but someone makes an offer for, say, Dustin May that the Cardinals can't refuse because it's, some options for the future, and so they move May. I mean, it's a real possibility that the Cardinals pitchers could look very, very different in this, the end of the second half of the season than they do right now.
Yeah, I think that's true, and there's no guarantees for Liberatore. You mentioned May. Could something happen there, especially if they are not playing as good a baseball as they move towards the trade deadline? But that's going into this year, we knew that, and Richard Fitz is injured. It could have been even more extreme had Fitz not gotten hurt this year, because he was the guy who was essentially that number 6 starter coming out of spring this year. But yeah, is there a scenario where by the time the year gets over, there's a Hunter Dobbins in the rotation, there's a Bryson Motts in the rotation, there's a Quinn Matthews in the rotation? Yeah, that's a distinct possibility.
So with the Cardinals now playing the way they are, and they're still in, pretty good wild card position at this moment, we are not halfway through the season yet. I have been saying this, Matt, I still think that they're going to be in the conversation, and I'm pretty sure we talked about this on Monday too, but I think they're going to be in the playoff conversation when they get into September, just because of the rest of the league. As you watch the rest of the National League play, are there teams that are changing your mind about how you feel about them at all? Like, are they playing better or playing worse? Are there any teams that you're really kind of focused on when it comes to their competition?
Yeah, I look a lot at the other wild card teams for sure, and I've always thought the Phillies are good, so it's not surprising me that they are starting to take over, and the Phillies are now in that top wild card spot. And I wouldn't be shocked if they end up challenging the Braves for the NL East before all is said and done. The Cubs keep finding ways to win, and it helped that they were playing a really bad Mets team, and they were able to score 20 runs over a doubleheader yesterday. They also keep losing starting pitching. They made a trade yesterday. They go get David Peterson from the Mets, so he goes from one clubhouse to the other. Right now for the Cubs, they just placed Edward Cabrera and Ben Brown on the injured list.
Yep.
Justin Steele, Kate Horton, Jameson Taillon have been on the injured list as well. So they don't have a lot of starting pitching, but they're winning games. So if there is a team that maybe I'd given up on a little bit, and to their credit, and I hate saying it, have come back a little bit, it's probably the Cubs. But those other teams that the Cardinals are going to be contending against for a wild card, whether it's the Padres, the Marlins, the Diamondbacks, the Nationals, the Pirates, right now, I don't think much of those teams. The Padres are probably the team that have the most talent, but they haven't put together. The Marlins, who are going to be in this weekend, if people haven't been paying attention to what the Marlins are doing, they're now 16-5 in the month of June, which is the best record in all of baseball in this month. They finished off a series win against the Rangers yesterday, and they won't play again until tomorrow in St. Louis. But 16-5 in June for the Marlins, as they've been able to play themselves into wild card consideration.
Phillies, Cardinals, Cubs right now are the wild card teams, and then the Padres are a half game back. If you go all the way back to where the Pirates are 3 out. So you've got 5 teams that are within just 3 games of a wild card, of being in the wild card, in addition to the 3 that are currently in it. So this will be, and it's kind of like this too in the American League. There's a lot of competition. They're all pretty close. So there will be some pretty good races over the next several weeks. Yesterday, Matt, the press conference, Cardinals moved on to a new leadership structure. None of it is really all that surprising, and I know that you had extended conversations with Chaim and Anouk yesterday. Any sort of feeling about what we heard yesterday or about what the organization is doing moving forward?
Yeah, I think they've already been doing what they announced yesterday. So in terms of actual changes occurring, I don't think functionally much of anything is changing. Bill DeWitt III is going to be more involved on the baseball side, and I think right now that's more of a learning thing for him than anything else. But now in his role as the CEO, he is overseeing, he's got eventual overseeing of both baseball and business operations. I think it cleans up kind of the organizational chart where now Chaim Bloom and Anouk Kurun-Durante are both on the kind of the same management level, looking up to him. So, I don't think a lot changes. Going into yesterday, I was most curious to see if Bill DeWitt Jr. was going to give up his chairman title. That did not happen. I think it's pretty clear that when he is ready to give up his chairman title, that is going to go to Bill III. But yeah, I don't think yesterday was like groundbreaking in terms of how things change, because I think those people have pretty much already been doing those jobs.
Hey, Matt, I was listening to the extended conversation that you had along with Dave Glover and I believe Kevin Wheeler with Anouk Kurun-Durante and Bill DeWitt III. I mean, it was maybe, a half an hour between the two. Did anything stand out to you to that from that conversation?
No, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful towards them, but again, maybe I look at it a little bit different. Like, I'm in it, right? I'm at the ballpark every single day. I'm talking to these guys. I'm seeing how the organization is working. So maybe for folks out there who are not that way, it was a really good way for them to get some insight into how the organization works and the people who are working and what they're doing. It's just hard for me to evaluate that because nothing that was said surprises me, because they just continue to back up the work that they've already been doing and the private conversations I've had with them previously.
Robbie Avila, we find out today, gets an Exhibit 10 contract with the Lakers, and Robbie just finished up his career at SLU. And just for people who don't know, the Exhibit 10 is basically it's an invitation to training camp. It's possible he could end up G League, Summer League, doing all that stuff. And then long shots that he ends up making the 15-man roster when the NBA season starts up, and then he gets a league minimum salary. What do you think his odds are? I know it's a long shot, but do you think his game plays in the NBA?
My first reaction is it's going to be an uphill battle for him, but I'm very curious to see. I would assume he gets to the G League and goes from there, and I'll be really interested to see what it looks like. He'll participate in Summer League as well. He is somebody who I say that, but he's never looked the part, and then he's always played at a high level and has been surprising. So I wouldn't be totally shocked if his game translates to the NBA more than I think it's going to at the surface level, but it's going to be good for him to get into Summer League, get into G League action, and start acclimating to that level of basketball.
All right, Matt, before we let you go, do you have World Cup fever?
Not really.
What the hell,
Matt,
dude?
come on. Yes, you
The
do.
U.S. plays tonight.
I know.
And they're making, Hidden Valley is making TSA compliant ranch dressing.
How do you not care about this?
It's not that I don't care. You asked if I had fever. Fever and caring are two different levels. If you would have said, hey, Matt, do you care about the World Cup? I said, yeah, of course I care. But then, do I have a fever for it? I sound like Christopher Walken and I'm in a fever for more cowbell here. No, I don't think I have a fever for it.
You gotta
I'm just
lean into it.
Why do you hate America?
I don't hate America.
Sounds like you hate America.
That's
You should
kind
have
of
fever
what
for
I took away from it.
I'm sorry that I'm honest.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm honest. Listen to this guy. Matt Pauley, we appreciate you. Redbird Rush Hour at 5.
Yes, for about 45 minutes, and then we hope to God that baseball gets played tonight.
Oh, yeah. So the weather situation tonight, tomorrow, a little sketchy, right?
Yeah. Yes, that's the way I view the forecast.
Okay.
Sketchy.
Thanks, Matt.
You bet.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, pre and post game tonight, 5:50 pre, 6:45 first pitch. Cardinals in the fourth and final game of the series against the Diamondbacks. That will be tonight. You may be surprised to hear that the loudest person in the world was found recently and doesn't happen to be in this room, at least according to the competition. We'll tell you more about that next on KMOX.
You feel it every time you check out. Prices up, paychecks stretched, families squeezed. That's why Ann Wagner's fighting to get government off your back and out of your way. Wagner passed the largest tax cut in American history, expanded child tax credits, ended taxes on tips, overtime, and Social Security. And Wagner is working to lower costs so families keep more of their hard-earned money. But Ann Wagner knows delivering for Missouri means more than just protecting their wallets. It means protecting our streets as well. That's why Wagner fought to secure our border, deport dangerous illegal aliens, partner with law enforcement, and put predators behind bars and off our streets so our neighborhoods and communities stay safe. Because real effective leadership protects what matters most: your money, your family, your safety. Ann Wagner for Congress.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour, and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. For everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app, then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older and in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Well, I feel vindicated. I wonder if this is how a murder suspect feels when their alibi comes through.
Okay.
Because...
Oh, like in trial. Right, okay.
And the alibi really comes through and like, he couldn't have done it. He's got witnesses. The Guinness Book of World Records has crowned a guy who is, I believe, an air conditioner cleaner. They've crowned him the loudest man in the world.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
Joseph McGrail Batup, an Australian professional air conditioner cleaner and honorary town crier, has been recognized as the world's loudest person.
My voice was shot for the next couple of days as well. It was husky. It was terrible.
Guinness World Records acknowledging the 58-year-old Canberra resident recorded the loudest ever shout by an individual at 122.4 decibels. That broke the previous record of 121.7 decibels set by Northern Ireland school teacher Annalisa Flanagan back in 1994.
Okay, so...
Not me.
I'm sorry, they haven't been measuring in this office before the show.
You know what? Maybe it's a different skill. Maybe I'm the shrillest.
Do you remember when it was you,
Shrill?
Kevin, and me on the show when that started back in 2022?
I try not to.
Okay, so it was the three of us.
Yeah.
And I went around the newsroom and I asked everybody, like, who is the loudest person in the office? And everyone was like, oh, it's Amy. Some people were like, oh, Kevin. Oh, it's Amy. Because they can hear you down the hallway.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you talk at, you're tarmac. Like your tarmac decibels in the office.
Yeah.
And then you laugh. Oh,
whoa,
my
buddy.
God.
And you
know
what
it was like? Do you know when we were at the Spirit of St. Louis Airport doing the show prior to the air show? And it was really loud, the engines, because they were starting the engines on the airplanes right in front of us.
Yeah, Chris
That's
Berman's
what it's like.
jet.
That's what it's like to be in the office with you.
Listen, I don't deny it. We are a loud family. We laugh a lot. Like people think, oh, Amy, you laugh so much. Sorry, buddy. That's how I was raised. We laugh a lot, and we are all very loud. We are a very loud family.
For me too. Hey,
I know.
Amy, I have a story.
What now?
I have a story that you are going to love, okay? So, Hallmark Media, NFL, and Skydance Sports have partnered with the Chicago Bears for Holiday Touchdown, a Bears love story. It will premiere during Hallmark's 17th annual Countdown to Christmas programming event. So this is the third installment. Remember how it was Chiefs, a touchdown love story?
Yep.
And then what was the second one? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Well, the Bears are going to be featured in the next one.
You know what we need to do?
Can you believe
We should get
it?
some of the script and read it on air.
I am
You
so
and I
excited.
could reenact it.
Okay, whenever it comes out.
Mhm.
So it's going to release later this year, obviously, ahead of Christmas time.
Will
But
this
the Bears are going to be featured in the next Holiday Touchdown love story.
Unbelievable. Will this be the first
It's
and
so
only
great.
Hallmark movie that you've ever seen?
Nah, I've been to my mom's house.
Your mom and I have a lot in common.
She watches, and I'm sitting there while she's watching.
This is going to be great.
Dude, I am going to watch this one.
Okay, but we need to get the script so that you and I can read it.
Okay, well, whenever it comes out,
It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing.
maybe we can reach out to them, see if they'll advance us a copy of the script. Do you think
Or-
Hallmark could give it to us?
No, but I do think we could get a trailer and transcribe the trailer. Because there's always a meet cute, and then there's always a misunderstanding, generally predicated by miscommunication. I think we just get the trailer and then transcribe it.
I am very excited about this. I can't wait.
But here's what we're going to do. When we transcribe the
What an
script,
announcement, Amy. Halfway to Christmas today.
it's perfect timing. It's kismet. And what I will say is, when we get the script and you and I are reading it on air, we have to play the Bears theme song the entire time.
Oh, okay.
But I love you. I love you too.
Let's go.
But
This is
Johnny,
great.
You can't develop our town. Oh, yeah. This is going to be good.
Oh, dude.
As
Okay.
soon as the trailer's out, we're making it happen.
So it was the Chiefs' love story. Then it was a Bills' love story. Buffalo Bills.
But I don't think they weren't allowed to say that. They couldn't say the Chiefs' love story in the title. It was called a touchdown something.
No, I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did, Bubba. I think it was called, because in 2024, it was a
Holiday
Chiefs
Touchdown.
holiday touchdown, a Chiefs love story.
Yeah, the subtitle. You're right.
Then last year, a Bills love story. This year, it is holiday touchdown, a Bears love story. How exciting is this? This is better than knowing they're about to win the Super Bowl. This will be This is better than when they were on Hard Knocks. I'm more excited about this. When we come back, Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, joins the show.
Before YouTube DIY videos, before skip ad, before don't forget to like and subscribe, there was KMOX. And this Saturday, we're still at your service. At 8, the Garden Hotline with Michelle Reeser-West, sponsored by Chesterfield Valley Nursery. At 11, the Home Improvement Show with Rich Orris, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts. So, skip the videos and get it done right. KMOX is at your service, starting Saturday at 8.
If you are looking for a place for independent living for older adults, the place is Fairwinds River's Edge in St. Charles. It was voted U.S. News and World Report's best independent living for 5 consecutive years. They have social events for the residents there, wellness programs. Just go to fairwindsriversedge.com. Schedule a tour and hear about all of the great new updated spaces, all the dining, the social events, the best. fairwindsriversedge.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
82 degrees, humid with intervals of clouds and sunshine, a thunderstorm in spots late this afternoon and maybe this evening. A thunderstorm, a high of 86 today, tonight a low of 71.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Get swept up in the drama and passion of Tennessee Williams' A Streetcar Named Desire at Opera Theater of St. Louis. Experience an electrifying production with a powerful score and unforgettable characters in a tale of desires, secrets, and shattered illusions. The sweltering heat on stage will make for a dramatic summer evening. Performances run June 7th through 26th, and tickets start at just $25. Visit experienceopera.org for details and tickets.
All right, so it's summer, and your yard looks great because you've spent a lot of time and money on it, maybe fertilizer, aerating the lawn, mowing it just right. Maybe you've put down sod, and now the moles have ruined everything. So tunnels can quickly ruin your lawn and your landscaping. So here's what you need to do. Visit Rottler.com. Rottler offers a fixed annual program, so it's not like they're charging per mole. They have comprehensive exterior treatments. They have follow-up visits in between scheduled services, and because it's outside, you don't even have to be home during service. And they have the Rottler Promise, which is a year-round warranted protection. And while you're talking to Rottler, ask them about mosquitoes or ticks or stinging insects, because all of those things can pose safety risks. And even with the stinging insects, they can actually damage your property. For instance, carpenter bees, they can bore into wood structures like decks and trim and really cause some damage. Visit Rottler. They'll check everything out. They have been helping local homeowners protect what matters most for 70 years. Rottler.com.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX. And I like to joke, and I say it all the time, like my work with FanDuel Sportsbook goes well beyond the time that it came online in Missouri. I used to have to travel to play. Not anymore. Now I get to play at home, and you can too, whether it's baseball season, whether it's hockey, basketball, football, and now soccer. On the biggest stage of the world, FanDuel is stepping up. They are changing the game because sometimes the player you've got gets subbed off and your bet goes off with them, but not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. So that's right. So if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it to the final whistle. No need to go anywhere. You just hang in there. You still got your shot. But visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. Super easy to do. And let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Just remember, you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Mizzou football is almost here. Get ready for the season opening kickoff and Como game on Thursday, September 3rd, with 4 tickets for only $80. Be there to see the finished Memorial Stadium Centennial Project, a deal for the entire family to enjoy the home opener. Let's keep the sellout streak alive and bring the energy as we kick off the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium. Purchase your 4 tickets for $80 at mutigers.com/kickoff in Como. MIZ.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
He is also the host of The Takeout on CBS News 24/7, a daily show that you can watch and listen to, and we highly recommend you do. He joins us every week just after 10:30 on Thursdays. Major Garrett is on the show. Good morning, Major Garrett.
Good morning, everyone.
So right now we are getting, at least we've seen a couple of rulings from the Supreme Court that have been released. One of them on, actually a couple of them on immigration, one on the Roundup lawsuits, the cancer-causing Roundup. So what do we know about all of these, and what do they mean?
I'm going to turn to Amy on the Roundup case because she's always got the granular questions for these. She's probably read it more closely than I have.
What? You don't have notifications for SCOTUS blog on your phone?
I do, but I've been immersing myself in the 2 immigration cases, not the Roundup pesticide case. So the immigration cases, the 2 big takeaways are Trump administration policy has been vindicated by the court, not so much in one case based on the law. The court didn't really wade into that, just said the federal judiciary shouldn't try to get involved in deciding the legality of this. We don't really have jurisdictional control over this. So what the administration's interpretation is will rule and will govern. And this is in the case of temporary protected status for hundreds of thousands of Haitians and about 6,000 Syrians, their status in the United States is now up for grabs. They were granted temporary protective status as fleeing either economic or physical hardships in their home country. Haiti and Syria both had lots of each, came to America, were let in. Now their status has been revoked under this because the administration has already revoked it. They challenged it in court. The Supreme Court said, no, we're not going to wade in on this. On the asylum case, it is a technical reading, but it is consistent with historic understanding of the law. Do you make it into America when you're at a port of entry or no? There was, when lots of people were coming to our southern border, in the Obama administration and the Biden administration in particular, something that immigration enforcement would use called metering, which was meeting people who they were assuming were coming to the border to claim asylum status before you got to the port of entry, meaning in Mexico. And since you were interacting with an agent of the U.S. government, it was assumed that that was all you needed to do to assert your asylum status question. What the court said is, no, you've got to make it onto U.S. soil, and if you don't, you have no standing whatsoever, legally or otherwise, to challenge or attempt to enter the country as someone seeking and being granted asylum status. The important takeaway from this is American immigration law is, at its core, assumptively restrictive. It does provide certain mechanisms to enter the country legally, but on illegal status, if things are waived by administrations, that can happen. But if they're challenged on the black letter of the law, our immigration law is presumptively hesitant and restrictive. And this administration has pushed all of the known boundaries about what those definitions of restrictions can be, saying this is what the law meant, and until the law is changed, this is the way we're going to enforce it. And more often than not, federal courts, district and appeals, and the Supreme Court have agreed with this administration on that. That does not mean next week the president's going to win on birthright citizenship. He's going to lose and lose handily on that. And I think tactically the Supreme Court issued these two rulings favorable to Trump administration policy, knowing it was going to clock him and clock him hard next week on birthright citizenship.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess there's not much more to say about the birthright citizenship in the sense that, well, it's going to come later. But as you're saying, is it the general consensus that this could be a unanimous or maybe 8-1?
8-1, 7-2. 7-2 at the most favorable for the administration. If Justice Alito and Justice Thomas, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, want to sort of throw a constitutional bone toward the president and maybe have something that's part of the muttering dissent record for the future evaluation of this, okay, they might. But they might also say, no, the Constitution means what it says. The 14th Amendment means what it says. This court has meant what it said in previous interpretations of that. And the president cannot reevaluate that or redefine it himself just because he wants to.
Major Garrett is with us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. And there was a resolution recently about the president's war powers. And, and it's all stemming from this Iran conflict. And, of course, Democrats don't like the fact that he went in. I think everybody knows the situation. But what is the deal with that right now? And where does it stand?
So it's a very symbolic gesture from Congress. No president, Republican or Democrat, has acknowledged war powers resolutions in previous conflicts. It's where Congress basically says, we think you should come to us with more answers or stop what you're doing because we have not declared war. We've not declared these hostilities that you launched. Every president since the war powers resolution was passed after the Vietnam War said that carries Congress's power way too far. For national security purposes, the executive branch has the authority, the commander-in-chief has the authority under lots of different circumstances to engage militarily, and you're not going to be able to constrain those powers. So it's a symbolic way for Congress to say, we have another point of view. It's not controlling, it doesn't stop presidents, and it hasn't under Republican and Democratic administrations. However, it doesn't mean it doesn't have some political ramifications. It echoes through the national debate. And earlier this week, the president, for the first time in the Senate, lost a War Powers Resolution vote. He'd already lost one in the House. Again, it doesn't control, but it signals Republican restiveness, because you can't get that to prevail in either the House or the Senate unless some Republicans cross over. One of the Republicans who crossed over earlier this week was Bill Cassidy, the recently primary and defeated Senator Republican from Louisiana. He got in a shouting match with President Trump and a closed-door luncheon of Senate Republicans and the president on Capitol Hill yesterday. I mean, they shouted at each other across the room. Cassidy had voted against the president on the War Powers Resolution, demanded a briefing from Steve Witkoff, the president's special envoy, got it last night. And when the War Powers Resolution came back to the floor, he changed his vote. And he told my colleague Margaret Brennan for an interview you'll see on Face the Nation this Sunday that the reason he changed his vote is he was demanding briefings. He didn't think Congress was getting enough answers from the Trump administration. He got answers sufficient to satisfy him, at least for the now, and is back on the president's side, at least on this question.
You know, Major, speaking of the War Powers Resolution and the powers of the president, there are a few cases that specifically speak to the powers of the president that the Supreme Court is still deciding. And one is about the president's power to fire the heads of regulatory agencies, which it seems that the court is on the president's side to expand him or give him that, not give, but say that he has that power. But at the same time, there's some hesitancy from the court about the president's power over the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, very much so. And the court has made it very clear that some of these agencies within the executive branch that are quasi are still more heavily influenced by the executive branch than not. The Supreme Court does not put the Federal Reserve in that category. The Supreme Court puts the Federal Reserve in a very distinct category. Yes, the president can nominate the chair and can nominate other Fed governors, but other than that, unless there is absolute clear-cut cause to intervene in any of the membership of the Federal Reserve, the executive branch's powers are not that broad. The Supreme Court said in other quasi-independent agencies that have executive branch nomination members, the president can use more latitude, can be more involved. We'll find out very soon just how involved, and if the president can fire members or leaders of these quasi-independent agencies simply because he wants to. Does there need to be any underlying cause? Does there need to be anything that they've done that's either illegal or corrupt or potentially corrupt or injurious to the mission of that independent agency? Historically, that's been the standard. President Trump has not adhered to that standard. He said, I don't like you. You don't agree with me. Or you might not agree with me. Or you might not agree with me as much as I want you to agree with me, so I'm going to fire you. Is that the way our law set up these independent agencies? And is that what we want them to operate under in the future? Basically fearful that any president coming in could, on a whim, say, you're all fired because I don't like you. We're going to find out what the court comes down on that. But the Federal Reserve, the court has made very clear, is in a different category.
Today, the Freedom 250 Great American State Fair begins. Major, have you bought your tickets?
No.
Okay.
No. First of all, lots of states, interestingly, are not participating. I think there are 6 states that are on the record who are not participating at all, meaning not officially. And maybe a company from their state has said, oh, well, we'll show up and we'll pay the fee and we'll have a booth. It's off to a rough start because the prices are high to participate, to be a member, to be on the mall. Access is very strictly limited. There's a ton of security on the National Mall. I mean, a ton of security, not just police, National Guard, vehicles, some tanks. I mean, it looks very heavy, very heavy. And you can't bring any food into it if you're a tourist or a resident here in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia area. You've got to buy everything. So it has a price point to it itself. And it's kind of getting off to a very slow start, as have a lot of things. The president had this big rally last night. Hardly anyone was there. He only did a half an hour speech. Typically, he goes an hour and a half. He sort of looked out there. There was nobody or very few people there. He's like, well, I'm out of here. That was supposed to be the beginning of all the artists that were going to perform for a week and a half. Well, they all backed out because they felt Trump was turning this into a Trump glorification instead of an America celebration event. So it's off to a very, very uneven start.
I saw they put fencing around the reflecting pool. So is that kind of the backdrop of this? Is now there's fencing?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And I just can't wait. I just can't wait to see the court documents on these accused vandals. I just can't wait.
Oh.
Those cases, I guarantee you, are going to fall apart. Those cases are as flimsy as the algae floating on the surface of the reflecting pool.
Well, I can't wait either. I bet they don't produce any evidence. Major Garrett, we appreciate you. Thank you for being with us again. Are we talking next week, or is it?
Of course we are.
Okay.
Unless you guys are firing me or something.
Well, no.
Actually, Amy and I are both out.
What?
Oh wait. Well, wait a minute. So that's on the second Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still have to talk to
here.
Hancock.
I'm working on the second. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm working on the second.
No.
That's because Major loves America.
He does
and
love America.
He's dedicated to the country and the craft.
I love it so much I've taken off.
I will tell you something. You want to know how much I love America?
Yeah.
I will be anchoring the CBS Weekend News 4th of July. Okay, from New York City.
There you go.
On the 250th anniversary of this great country, I will be in the anchor chair for the CBS Weekend News. So there.
See, that's a man who cares.
And I tell all my friends, because Major's my most famous friend, and I don't like to brag, but I do brag. And I'm like, see him? That's Major. That's my friend.
But you didn't go to a ball game with him.
No, I didn't go to a ball game with him.
Hey, Major.
We're going to work on that, Amy.
That's
We're going
right.
to work on that.
You get to talk to Hancock and Kelly next week instead of us, so they're awesome too.
All right. That's a downgrade, but I'll try to
It sure is.
make my way through.
Thanks, Major.
You are the best, Major.
Major Garrett, Chief Washington Correspondent, CBS News, host of The Takeout on CBS News 24/7. Also, get his book, The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. And it is time for soccer, baby. That's right. U.S. is playing tonight. Now, the game itself does not matter because men's national team is moving on. They're going to the knockout round, which is great. It's a little bit of a tune-up tonight. And maybe this is perfect because on the biggest stage in the world in sports, FanDuel is changing the game. You know how if you've bet a player, sometimes that player will get subbed out late. And then if that happens, your bet goes along with them. Well, FanDuel Super Sub changes that. So if your player does get subbed out, your bet stays in with the substitute who comes in for him if that guy leaves the match. So it's a great way for you to stay in on the action all the way through until the final whistle. FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started now. FanDuel.com/Missouri. And there are a bunch of games that are happening today, starting at 3 o'clock. Curacao and Ivory Coast are playing to get the slate started for today. So lots of ways, lots of opportunities to get in on the action. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. Must be 21 or over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Get ready for a night back with legendary hits and non-stop energy. Bryan Adams is bringing the Roll with the Punches tour to Enterprise Center Friday, July 24th.
Hello, this is Bryan Adams.
Sing along to the classics as Bryan Adams delivers an unforgettable night of rock anthems. Plus, special guests Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Bryan Adams, July 24th. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. I've been asked many times how Morgan & Morgan became the largest injury firm in the world. I think I know. When someone comes to us for an on-the-job injury, we have a huge workers' compensation practice. But many times we find a defective product that was responsible for that injury. Luckily for them, we have a product liability section headed by my son, Mike. In addition to the comp case, there's a product case too. Other times, the injured worker is fired or harassed for bringing that claim. We have them covered. Our employment lawyers handle retaliation claims as well as wage theft and discrimination cases, and in some cases need to file for Social Security benefits. No problem. We became big for a reason. 30% of our new cases come as referrals from former clients. Hiring us is easy. Go to forthepeople.com on your mobile device or computer, or call Pound Law on your cell, pound 529. Morgan & Morgan. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
All right, so we were made aware of something just, a few moments ago, that the sinkhole, the St. Louis sinkhole, and to set this up, if you remember, we talked to Emily Sweeney from the Boston Globe, who was covering the World Cup there, and how all of the Scottish fans who were coming in to watch the World Cup were looking for the cop slide. The cop slide went viral a couple of years ago because there's apparently a dangerous slide that people are getting injured on, and especially adults. And now it's a local landmark, and it says cop slide if you go to Google Maps. Well, Google Maps has put St. Louis sinkhole on the map. So you can go and search out St. Louis sinkhole, and it is right there. It shows you where it is, Broadway and Biddle, just a little bit north of the Dome at America Center, right underneath the interstate.
Yeah.
So if you want to know where the sinkhole is for yourself, you can find it on Google Maps.
Well, apparently the comments too.
The reviews are
pretty good. One guy said it was the sinkiest and the holiest. He said he's been to sinkholes before, and it was the sinkiest and the holiest.
This review from Scott says, someone once said, if you wanted to go someplace off limits, you just needed to look confident, carry a clipboard and a ladder with you. They lied. I got yelled at pretty quickly by an officer as I approached the edge of the world below. He said I came really close to riding the lightning and getting a major dose of the Edison medicine. I still don't know what that means, but it was really hot in the back of his car. It looks like it would be pretty fun to go down, so I'm going ahead and giving it 5 stars. I never did get my clipboard and ladder back. I'll probably have to go back and see if someone has them down below. I just need to find another clipboard and ladder so that I can look official. Wait time 30 to 60 minutes. So
pretty amazing.
Yeah, some of these reviews, and it does have 5 stars. There are 10 reviews so far on Google Maps, and it's a 5 out of 5.
Which is hard to do. Here's one from Steve. Perfect placement. Centrally located to downtown. Dwarfs other sinkholes. Yet another free attraction in St. Louis.
I see.
The sinkhole from Brandon. The sinkhole is a marvel of St. Louis engineering. Will forever be up there with the Arch and Becky Queen of Carpets. Chef's Kiss would recommend a visit.
I like the one that says there's plenty of parking nearby.
Yeah.
Free parking. I'm so happy. I'm so happy this is happening.
This is where the internet is actually good.
All right, we want you to leave a review on the St. Louis sinkhole on Google Maps. So go find it, leave a review.
Keep it 5 stars though, for goodness sake.
Of course. We want
goodness sake.
We want the sinkhole to remain with 5 stars. This is fantastic. I'm so excited about all of this. I'm also excited to talk to Ryan Hamilton, comedian who has a new Netflix special called This Just Hit Me. Ryan will join the show when we come back on KMOX.
With summer here and the kids home full-time, your garage door will see a lot more use. Do it a favor with annual maintenance from Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The 26-point tune-up is one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Get them all done. Trusted in St. Louis for 100 years. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Since 1926, they're never going to steer you wrong. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-ALL-4s. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Lenseek.
AI infrastructure spending may get another big boost after the record-shattering IPO from SpaceX. Goldman Sachs analysts say that a new capital expenditure supercycle is emerging as AI reshapes investment priorities. With the rapid advancement of AI technologies prompting businesses to significantly increase spending on infrastructure, computing capacity, and related technologies. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
At 11 o'clock, we have sunny skies, 82 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch. The nation's highest court weighs in on the dispute over a multitude of Roundup weed killer lawsuits.
In a 7-2 ruling, the court is protecting Roundup's former owner, Monsanto, from liability in lawsuits over the lack of cancer warning labels required by Missouri law. KMOX legal analyst Brad Young says this is about federalism.
Federal law overrides and expressly preempts state law labeling requirements. So since the federal law didn't deem it necessary to warn people that Roundup could cause cancer, then a person cannot sue under state law that might have required that particular warning.
Young says this means lawsuits centered around violations of state law will be thrown out. He adds this could be viewed as an economic win for St. Louis, with Roundup's new parent company, Bayer, headquartered here, with the ruling helping protect jobs and investment. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The parents of a girl who was raped when she was 12 years old by an adult stranger she met on Snapchat have sued the parent company Snap and the attacker in Missouri court. The lawsuit filed this week claims the social media company is refusing refused to disable dangerous features in the app or warn parents about potential harms. The lawsuit admits the girl falsified her birth date to access the app. It alleges Snapchat recommended an adult male as a friend to multiple teen girls in the area. Defendant Gabriel Joel Valentin Rios accused of sending her unsolicited nude photographs. He told her he was 17, not 25, and convinced her to meet in person. Valentin Rios pleaded guilty to statutory rape and is currently serving an 18-year prison sentence in Missouri. The lawsuit claims Snapchat knew that Valentin Rios had multiple accounts, even though it's against the app's policies, including one he used to lure teen girls. Surging energy prices drove rising inflation again last month. ABC's Jim Ryan says the consumer price index for May was in line with economists' expectations.
The government's favorite measure of inflation was up 0.4% from April to May and 4.1% above May of 2025. Take out the volatile food and energy components, and the PCE showed a more modest increase month to month and year to year. Wall Street's investors feared that inflation would be worse, so the major stock indexes went into today's trading on a high note. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Tonight's U.S.-Turkey World Cup soccer match won't change the standings, but St. Louis City SC broadcaster Jen Cease tells KMOX's Total Information AM it could mean a lot for the U.S. team.
They've never won 3 consecutive games in a World Cup. Never, ever. The 2 that they have in a row right now is something that the USA has not done since 1930. So sweeping this group really would give the United States not only great momentum, being for, of course, their home crowd here in the United States, but also give them that confidence they're going to need to head into the round of 32, where now we start knockout.
Jen will recap the game Friday morning on the Chris and Amy Show.
A flood watch from 1 this afternoon through 7 a.m. tomorrow. Clouds and limited sun and humid today. A thunderstorm or 2 in the area, high 85. Cloudy and sticky tonight. Some showers and heavy thunderstorms, especially after midnight. Watch for flooding downpours, the low 72. Mostly cloudy and humid tomorrow with more showers and heavy thunderstorms in the area. Those thunderstorms can produce flooding downpours along with hail and damaging winds. Tomorrow's high 81. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Mostly cloudy, 81 in Florissant, 82 in St. Peters, and 82 downtown at the Arch. I'm Megan Lynch, KMOX News.
Chris and Amy now. The Dave Glover Show at 1 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
The moment between becoming tired and actually getting to sleep is a very difficult part of life. You're faced with a whole series of humiliating tasks. You got to steel yourself to look in that bathroom mirror with the mouth guard in and just go, sleep is dangerous for me. I turn into a vulnerable Sean Connery for about 5 minutes before bed. I'd like to go to sleep, and I'm so scared.
That is the voice of comedian Ryan Hamilton, who I will say helped me get through the isolation of the COVID years. It's when I discovered his first Netflix stand-up special, Happy Face, which came out in 2017. But he has a new Netflix special, This Just Hit Me. It actually premiered this week. And joining us now is Ryan Hamilton. Ryan, it's great to talk with you.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much.
I'm going to jump right into, well, first I will say, really comedy and stand-up comedy got me through all those, those months of being isolated with COVID. And that's when I first really discovered Happy Face and then told all of my friends and family, oh my gosh, I'm late to the party, but you have to watch this guy.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm thrilled about your new special, but I guess not thrilled about how you got the name for it. This Just Hit Me. You were actually hit by a bus several years ago, and sustained serious injuries and somehow have a Netflix special out of it.
Yeah, you don't plan for these things, but that's
well, nobody ever gets planned to get hit by a bus, I don't think. Well, maybe some people do.
It is weird. It's hard to, we talk about it like it happens all the time. Once you get hit by a bus, you realize how common this thing is in our mind, in our culture. Like, people, you got to live your life. You don't know, you might walk out of your front door and get hit by a bus. And that's just it's the most easily accessible hypothetical death. And then when it happens, you go, live your life, because you might. But, people go, I thought we were friends, but then you went and threw me under the bus. Well, it's very difficult to get under. It kind of ejects you out is the reality of the thing. And I feel tired. I feel achy. I was out so late. I feel like I got hit by a bus. Oh, you do? I felt like that one time. It was when I got hit by a bus. So,
oh no.
Yeah.
Do people believe you when you tell? I mean, now everybody knows, I guess, but you're like, no, actually, I did get hit by a bus.
No, it's very. They go. They think it was. They go, what do you? It's a comedy. It should be a tragedy, but it's a comedy to get hit by a bus, because if you say I got hit by a car, people go, oh, I'm so sorry. But if you say I got hit by a bus, people go, I'm so sorry. How did you not see it?
Yeah.
Right? They're so big.
Well, how about this? I don't even know if this is a one-up or not. You can decide. I have a friend who was hit by 2 cars at once. So.
Oh, no.
Whoa!
Yeah, he got hit by
he
one.
Wins. Yeah, he might win. He might win. I think he wins.
Okay,
that's rough.
I'll let him know that he won. Because
he
got hit by one car who pushed him into another car who then hit him. So it happened twice. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Ryan, I know you're from Idaho, and you definitely took your comedy to New York City and to Boston, but you started in Salt Lake City, I think. Is that because you're pretty clean and you thought, well, these guys will get it?
Yeah, I just was like, let's go to where they are.
The old Mormon joke. They're very polite. They're very nice people.
Do they do jokes?
Oh, absolutely. I grew up in Idaho. It was just I went to college in Utah, and Salt Lake City's really the closest major city to where I'm from. That was the closest place there was any kind of. There wasn't even a comedy club there when I started. They opened one eventually about 6 months after I started doing comedy. Wise Guys is still there. It's one of the best clubs in the country, in my opinion. But it's I lived there for 10 years in Utah, and it was just where I was. And but that it comes out of me naturally clean. It's just it doesn't really choose you. You don't really choose it. It chooses you, and this is how it comes. If I try to be something else, it's people are like, this is creepy. But
We're talking with comedian Ryan Hamilton, who joins us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. The special that you have put out, and it's been out for a little bit already. As we mentioned it's called This Just Hit Me. It's clever, and it references the bus accident. But there are a lot of comedians getting Netflix specials, more than there used to be, I suppose. So what goes into actually nailing it down and getting it done? Because they're all produced really well.
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting situation. This is my second one with Netflix. They were both similar in terms of production. They just kind of go, okay, we're ready to go with you, and we have a slot. And it wasn't easy to get. It took a long time, and convincing and trying to, sell it to the right place, the right people. But then they just go, here's the deal, and here's money, and turn it in. And basically, they give you enough money to kind of break even. You're not really the kind of deal that if you're a comedian like me, that's kind of how it works. You get enough money to kind of pay for the thing, and then it's up to you. It's not like Netflix has a production arm and they go, here's who your DP is going to be. Here's what the set designer. You go hire people. You find a venue. You sell the tickets. You edit it. They can oversee it, and they have rights to change things, but they really don't. They just kind of let you go. And then they said no notes on my special, which they said is rare. But I did what I wanted to do, and they liked it. So.
My understanding is to get a special these days, or even in some cases to get booked, for any kind of show, it's a prerequisite that you have to have a certain amount of Instagram, TikTok, followers, because clubs or these specials won't happen unless you do. And your first special came out several years ago. It seems to me that was before all of this became a prerequisite, right?
Yes.
Is it becoming more
exactly
challenging
right.
then?
It's very challenging. I mean, that was the challenge I had, is I'm behind in the social media world. I'm trying to embrace it more, and it's about churning out lots of content, which is contradicting to my mindset. I've always been like, I want to make something perfect and put it out occasionally, not put out something all the time that is okay. But that's kind of the way the world works. And so I'm behind. And so when I go to Netflix, it's like, we love this material, but, we don't know if we can do this. And so I had people coming to me. Jerry Seinfeld wanted to produce it for a while. He was, I work with him, and he's helped me so much, and he's a friend. And he was like, he brought it to me. It was like, I think this could be something we could do. And I thought, great, but he's got a movie going on, a book. And when Jerry does something, he really wants to be all in on it. And it was taking time. And then Nikki Glazer, she saw it. She's an old friend. She's like, I got to produce this. Let's try to get this out there. And then she's busy. And then Nate Bargatze formed Nateland, this big production company. And he has, it's pretty unique for a comedian. He actually has a production arm, and he's doing specials that he's putting on YouTube at this time. And he said, I want to do this. You're a perfect fit for what we're going for in terms of clean and broad. And I go, okay, but I want to try to sell it. So I'm going to see what I can do. I have the money to produce it. I'm just going to produce it now, and then I'm going to pitch it. Because sometimes once they see the finished product, they go, oh, now we get it. Let's take this. So then Nate goes, okay. And then a week later, I get a call from Nate going, we're going to do it at Netflix. And I go, what do you mean? I've been pitching to them for like a year. He goes, yeah, well, I called them, and we're going to do it at Netflix. I go,
well, that was easy.
Oh, okay. So that was the first deal he made at Netflix for a special, I believe, or Nateland, their production company. And so that's how it came about. So it was a long process of trying to figure out, the home for it. And there's always a place. Like, I could have just put it up on YouTube myself as well, which is not a bad option these days. There's a lot of people doing that also. But I was happy to get it on Netflix. I feel like this is my second one. They're both on there simultaneously, so they both have a home. And people, I think they think of comedy specials on Netflix as a go-to spot. So, we'll see. That was a long story. You got the behind the scenes.
That's what I wanted.
We did.
Yeah.
Nobody else. Don't tell Hey, Ryan, don't tell anybody else. So, like, we're the only place.
The exclusive?
We got the exclusive. Thanks.
Well, I know you're touring. You tour with Jerry Seinfeld, with Nate Bargatze, with Jim Gaffigan. And I know Jerry Seinfeld, like, you're either one of his favorites. Do you remember when did he call you out of nowhere and say, hey, I think you're really funny? How did that connection happen?
Shortly before my first special, actually, is when I met Jerry. And there's one of my really good friends and an amazing human being, an amazing talent, is Gad Elmaleh. And he is you may not know him, but he's a massive star in Europe and France especially. Movie star, stand-up comedian, doing arena tours, massive star. He came over to the United States and did this challenging thing. He really wanted to have a career in English, in a second language, as a comedian. It's very, very difficult, but he was driven to do this. And he came over here. He has a fantastic special on Netflix in English called American Dream. He has a whole series on Netflix called Huge in France. And so he became a friend of mine. He knew who I was. I didn't even know who he was, but he's a student of American comedy. And he introduced himself to me at the Comedy Cellar in New York City, and I thought he was just a fan. And someone goes, do you know who that is? And I go, and he goes, that's the Seinfeld of France, is what they call him. And I go, wow. And so we became fast friends, and Gad asked me to open for him at Carnegie Hall one night. And Jerry was there because Jerry and Gad are very close friends. And he goes, do you want to meet Jerry? And I said, okay. And so Jerry goes, have you ever worked here before? We're at Carnegie Hall. And I said, yeah. And he goes, you have? And I go, no, I work at Carnegie Hall. And he gave me some great advice. And then I came off stage, and he was right there, and he watched my whole set. And he goes, Ryan, that was really great. And then we just stood there and watched our friend, and he would elbow me once in a while. I just met him, and he goes, isn't that great? And the show ends. Gad had this amazing show. We go up to the green room, and Gad knows a lot of people. There are a lot of people there, and I'm kind of the last one in. I don't really know these people. I come in, the door shuts behind me, and everybody's kind of looking at me. And there's Sarah Jessica Parker, Jessica Chastain is to my right. Jessica Seinfeld's right in front of me. A lot of Jessicas. And Jessica Seinfeld says, oh, wow, we really loved you. And you remind me so much of my husband. And I was like, and Jerry's over the corner. And I go, because I got this my whole life. People often would compare me to him for whatever reason. I was always trying to be myself. And I couldn't believe this moment was happening. I'm like, I hear that sometimes. And I'm kind of like embarrassed. And Jerry goes, really? I don't see it. And everybody laughed. And then they all started talking about this party they were at the White House. And I go, well, I guess I'm done with this conversation.
That's awesome.
2 days later, I'm walking out of a Gotham Comedy Club in New York City. And I'd never come across Jerry in my life. And 2 days later, I'm walking out and he's walking in at the same time. And he pulled me aside. He goes, wow, Ryan, I'm glad to run into you. We talked about you at dinner, and he said this thing that he was just very gracious, and he said, you reminded me why I really you helped remind me why I love comedy so much. And I just thought, wow, that's amazing. And then a few days later, Gad called and was like, the Seinfelds want to know if you want to come over and watch the Oscars.
Oh my gosh.
So I go, okay. So Gad and I went and just had this great moment in the evening with the family. We had dinner. And then a few weeks later, my manager calls me and goes, do you want to open for Jerry? And I was like, okay. And then I was buying a new apartment, like a little studio apartment at the time, and I was just getting to know Jerry. And I learned where Jerry lives as I'm buying this apartment, and I'm at his house. And I was like, I hadn't finished the deal yet, so things fall through all the time. But this went through, and it happened to be across the street from Jerry Seinfeld. And once we became friends, I eventually had to tell him, I'm like, dude, I live across the street from you.
That's great. Did you when they called you and they asked you to do this? Was there any part of you? They're like, hey, do you want to open for Jerry? And was there any part of you that wanted to say, nah, I'm good? Just nah. Just want to say no to Jerry, just so he knows what that feels like.
See what happened?
Yeah.
No, that did not cross my mind, even as a joke. It did not even.
Well, the special is out now. Again, it's called This Just Hit Me. It is on Netflix, and there's the previous special, Happy Face, also on Netflix. Ryan Hamilton, good luck on the tour. We're looking forward to it, and we really appreciate you talking with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And actually, tour dates aren't coming out in a couple weeks, but St. Louis is Feb 6th, just so we get that out there.
Oh, yeah. It's not on the original list, so great. February 6th.
Not for sale yet, but a couple weeks it will be. So look for that. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you.
Thank you, guys. Really appreciate it.
Ryan Hamilton, comedian, with us here on KMOX. Again, the new 1-hour Netflix special is called This Just Hit Me, and it is available now. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX, sponsored by Community America Credit Union in Des Peres. Invested in STL. Invested in you. Now open.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you're financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the real easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. all with no closing costs with that bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket, and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the bagel loan, NMLS 226715.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case? Skyrizi Risankizumab Riza can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Control is everything to me.
Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett with Timberline Tree Care. I'm really excited to announce another reason why we should be taking care of your trees. Timberline is now the only tree care provider anywhere to offer full-spectrum tree maintenance programs that are fully guaranteed. Here's how it works. You call Timberline and an ISA-certified arborist will meet you at your home. We will develop a plan that includes soil testing and amendment, fertilization, any necessary pesticide applications, and annual inspections by an ISA-certified arborist. But here's the best part. Maintenance pruning of your tree is included in this plan. And in the unlikely event that your tree dies while under our care, we will remove it for free. All you have to do is call us and sign up for the plan. We will take care of literally everything from there. There's no obligation, and you can cancel at any time. For tree care that is guaranteed, call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or find out more at stltreecare.com.
Escape to Florence with the Tony Award-winning musical The Light in the Piazza at Opera Theater of St. Louis. This dazzling production stars Broadway favorites Kate Baldwin and Paulo Schott and brings to life an enchanting tale of romance, adventure, and self-discovery. Follow a young woman as she finds herself swept away by the beauty and passion of sun-drenched Italy. Performances run May 30th through June 28th, and tickets start at just $25. For tickets and information, visit experienceopera.org.
Mizzou football is almost here. Get ready for the season opening kickoff and Como game on Thursday, September 3rd, with 4 tickets for only $80. Be there to see the finished Memorial Stadium Centennial Project, a deal for the entire family to enjoy the home opener. Let's keep the sellout streak alive and bring the energy as we kick off the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium. Purchase your 4 tickets for $80 at mutigers.com/kickoff in Como. MIZ.
Looking for a career change? Well, the Gelman team with eXp Realty is hiring. Their unmatched blueprint to success, real support, and proven systems help agents take their business to the next level. Level up your future and earning potential. Take the first step at thegelmanteam.com.
100 years, one legendary voice. We live KMOX's century of service, classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Gas House Gang coming up at 12 o'clock. Bernie Miklasz and me. We're going to talk to Sam Dykstra, who covers prospects. And so I know a lot of people want to hear about Joshua Baez, who's been killing it in the minor leagues, and Hunter Dobbins has been down there as well. I mean, we've gotten a look at him, but we'll talk about those minor leaguers with Sam coming up at 12:30 on the Gas House Gang, which starts at 12. And Amy, I told you during the break that I had a disgusting thought, and I just want to get your opinion on this. Okay. And
my gosh. I don't know.
Scrolling Instagram, and STL Today has a post about the filming of the movie Love on the Hill. You know, the movie that's the low budget film, which Ralph, it's like $1 million.
Low budget, high spirit.
It's like between $1 million and $2 million or something like that. It's a really low budget. So it is filming on the hill, and they posted this photo. It's a story about the rom-com being shot in St. Louis, and the hill is one of the characters, it says. And here's the lead of the story is this. It is 83 degrees in the kitchen at Canetto House of Pasta A large pot of tomato sauce is simmering on the stove. And goes on to talk about the act or whatever. And it just occurred to me, it's really hot in kitchens, professional kitchens. You know what happens when it's hot?
No. Listen.
Do you know what happens when it's hot?
I do.
People sweat.
This is the thing. Have you ever watched the show Chopped on the Food Network?
No.
High stakes, high pressure. No. You get this. It's 3 or 4 chefs at the beginning competing against each other. You have 20 minutes to make this entree. And they're so stressed, and there's so many studio lights on them that they're sweating.
Yep.
And you can see beads of sweat running down their face.
And what are they doing a lot of times? They're
leaning over the food.
They're leaning over the food.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that?
I do.
You do think this is something you think about?
I've thought about it before. I wasn't thinking about it in the moment, but when I watched Chopped, I've thought about that because they'll take their, forearm and brush their forehead, and I'm thinking, you're sweating a lot.
How much human sweat is in the pasta sauce?
Well, listen, I don't think.
Or on the food as they're leaning over it, trying to get the plate to look just right.
I couldn't be.
I'll be honest with you.
A cook for that reason. I sweat way too much.
I never really thought about that until reading that just now.
Interesting.
So now I'm thinking about every restaurant I go into. There's some chef, sous chef, cook, somebody
Here's what I know.
who is leaning over the food while sweating.
I know there are a lot of people in the restaurant industry who might give you an oh honey moment, which would be, oh honey, that's the least of your worries.
And
I mean, what is it? Didn't Dick's Last Resort have roaches on their cups?
One roach. One roach. No, actually. Yes. So the story Amy is referring to, I had 2 women when I was serving come in for lunch.
There.
I worked there as a server, and 2 women came in for lunch. They ordered Diet Cokes. I got the Diet Coke. I brought the cups back to the table. I put them down. I said, I'll give you a minute. And then as I'm walking away, I turned around, and one of the ladies said, she said, Chris, and she pointed at the cup, and there was a roach on it. I went, oh. She said, I think we're going to leave. And I was like, I don't blame you. But later on, this is true, they did, there was a bit of a roach problem there. And they had to do a complete overhaul, and they tore out a wall. And the guy who was the exterminator said millions of roaches probably inside the wall.
No.
Millions.
I'm going to die. I think I'm going to die.
Yes. The U.S. men's national team is in the middle of a beginning. Let's say it's a beginning of a terrific run. They have already clinched their group. They are moving on to the knockout stage in what is the biggest stage in the world. And FanDuel is giving you a different way to stay in the game, because if you've bet a player in soccer and that player will get subbed out sometimes toward the end of the game, well, your bet goes with that player, and that's not what you want. And FanDuel doesn't want that for you either. So they're introducing Super Sub, which means if that player gets subbed out, your bet stays in the game with the substitute who comes in to replace your player. That means you are in the action all the way up until the final whistle. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to take advantage of this, and you have all kinds of opportunities today. 6 games are happening, culminating with the U.S. in Turkey. That is tonight at 9 o'clock. So you have plenty of opportunities to get in on the action and stay in the action with FanDuel's Super Sub. FanDuel.com/Missouri. Let there be goals this summer with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Some shows are about sports. Some shows are about nothing. This one's kind of both.
So the show's not really a sports show per se. It's just a show. Glover here, we talk about whatever is happening, life, work, random stuff. And yeah, the Cardinals always find their way in. I'm a lifelong fan, love going to the games, love supporting the team, and love hanging out with you guys.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
What's better than watching Team USA in the FIFA World Cup? Watching it with an ice-cold beer in your hand. And there's no better place to do both of those things than at the Beer Garden at Anheuser-Busch. A huge TV, every seat in the house is great. The beer is as fresh and as cold as you can find it. Bring your crew early, take a brewery tour, and then settle in for all the World Cup action. Visit BudweiserTours.com and experience USA Soccer at the Beer Garden. BudweiserTours.com.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
84 degrees, real field temp 103 because it is humid. Intervals of clouds and sunshine, maybe a thunderstorm in spots late this afternoon and into the evening. A high 86, the low 71.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
What if you could better understand your risk for chronic disease and cancer before symptoms ever begin? With your disease risk from Siteman Cancer Center, you can take a quick, evidence-based assessment that looks at factors like family history, lifestyle, and everyday habits to provide personalized insights about your health. Your health story is shaped by more than genetics. Nutrition, physical activity, sleep, tobacco use, and routine screenings all play an important role in your future well-being. Knowing how these factors work together can help you make informed decisions and take action earlier. When it comes to prevention, knowledge is powerful. In just a few minutes, your disease risk can help you better understand your health risks and provide practical guidance to support a healthier future. Take the first step today. Prevention begins with awareness. Visit siteman.washu.edu/YDR. That's siteman.washu.edu/YDR.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
There's always a lot of interesting research in medicine, and it is ongoing. And there's been some really fascinating stuff that has come out in the last few months. To talk about some of that with us, the director of the Clinical and Translational Research Accelerator at Yale University and co-host of the podcast Wellness Actually with Emily Oster, it is Dr. F. Perry Wilson joining us here again on KMOX. Dr. Wilson, good to talk to you. How are you? Do we have F. Perry Wilson? Cannot hear the good doctor. No, well,
he's on our Zoom.
Well, I guess we'll get to him at some point. Well, let me go ahead and tell you what I think about these medical achievements. Do you want to hear about my medical expertise? There's
Not sure that I do.
There is one really interesting thing I want to start with him on.
Okay.
And that is that there are knee injuries, and I'd like to get his explanation on them.
Yes.
That some of these knee surgeries that happen, they often show recovery results, and they're called sham knee surgeries, so they didn't actually fix anything. But they're getting results.
Like a placebo effect.
Yeah, versus actual operations.
But they're actually cutting into the skin, though, correct?
Well,
They're just not doing anything. They're cutting open the skin, sewing it back up, and then saying, "We did it. We fixed your knee." And then that's what I want to ask. Are they actually cut? I would think so.
That's what we need to
find
out.
Because then that person does go to physical therapy. And they're saying if you believe you are going to get better and you go to physical therapy, you actually do get better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is actually the I'm so glad you're starting with that, because we had a few questions for Dr. Wilson, and that was the one that I just blew my mind.
And also another one here, and this is appropriate with the World Cup going on, and I think about it a lot when I watch soccer. I do, because I enjoy the game. I really do. But every time there's a header, every time a guy heads a ball into the net or a woman does, it's just, I always have this, I always have this feeling like that really can't be good for you. And there has been some research on what is called a punch drunk syndrome, which goes back to the 1920s, that there are head injuries that happen in soccer. And it's not just the ball, it's also head collisions and that sort of thing. And there's research on that as well. So,
well, and I know that in younger soccer leagues, there have been some restrictions on head balls. Like if you're 10 or under, they're not allowed in the games. If you're between 11 and 13, you're limited by how much you can practice them. Yeah. In the same way that some football teams have, when kids are younger, they don't do full contact or full pads for practice to kind of limit that collision, because that is one thing with concussions and head injuries way higher in soccer than people would think.
Yeah, because we talk about it with football. Football's the famous one, and then in hockey too. But in soccer, I guess people don't really think about it or think about the reality that there's some minor head injuries that happen because there's not this constant hitting of heads together with helmets and guys running full speed at one another, big 250, 300-pound men who are just beating each other up over the course of the game. So it kind of falls by the wayside a bit.
And concussions, as we know, and which is one reason why hockey is such a place where concussions happen frequently. It's not just a direct shot to the head. It's when you get a clean check to the chest, right? Hit you right in your sternum. It's a clean check. Yeah. It's the whiplash effect of your head and your brain bouncing back
inside
and forth in your skull. And
which you can't do anything about that.
No, you can't. A better helmet doesn't help with that because you got hit in the chest. And so Claude Lemieux, who carried the torch out during one of the playoff games this year and just a couple of days later took his own life, the family of Claude Lemieux, the NHL legend, donated his brain to the CTE Center at Boston University because he had repeated head injuries, and he was in a sport where you do get concussions.
And there were a couple of football players famously, and this is 20 years ago, guys like Junior Seau or Dave Duerson, who knew they had something going on in their brains. And they knew there was a problem, and they ended up both committing suicide, but they made sure that the way they did it, they preserved the brain so it could be studied. Which, I mean, that's incredibly tragic.
So awful. And I know, soccer is huge in the city of St. Louis. And right now I have two friends two separate, unrelated friends who have their own kids, each of whom is dealing with soccer concussions. St. Louis is such a big soccer town. How many times everybody plays at least CYC soccer, right? And then it gets very serious. And the people we know, the people I know, like I said, their kids have concussions right now, just from playing soccer.
We are trying to work out some technical issues with Dr. F. Perry Wilson. Not sure if we're going to get to do that, but why don't we go ahead and do this? We will take a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have Dr. Wilson on the show. If not, Amy and I will talk to you about the St. Louis sinkhole, which now is findable on Google Maps. And already somebody has left a review because of us. So we appreciate that. John has left a review. And you should leave a review on the St. Louis sinkhole. It's very funny. And the reviews are starting to come in. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
The soundtrack of classic rock is coming to Hollywood Casino Amphitheater August 6th. Leonard Skinner and Foreigner joining forces for one epic night of legendary hits and unforgettable memories. It's the Double Trouble Double Vision Tour. From sweet home Alabama to cold as ice. Don't miss your chance to experience these two Rock and Roll Hall of Fame acts in one incredible show. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. For more info, KMOX.com/events.
Amendment 4 on the August ballot hides some ugly facts. It would create a new minority veto power, but only for ballot issues that are citizen-led.
I just say no to that.
Amendment 4 permanently ends majority rule for citizen-led ballot issues.
I'm a no on 4.
Politicians put Amendment 4 on the ballot to severely limit citizens' constitutional power.
I say no on 4.
4 is a power grab by politicians. It lets one congressional district veto reforms backed by the majority of voters statewide, giving as few as 5% of voters control over the rest of us.
That's why I say no to 4.
4 would make it nearly impossible to rein in out-of-control politicians.
I say heck no.
4 takes away our constitutional power we've used for over 100 years to pass reforms that politicians wouldn't. Keep majority rule and your power. Just say no to Amendment 4. It's an ugly politician power grab. Paid for by Missourians for Fair Governance.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Is your financial advisor working more for your retirement or for his? Find out the real story behind the financial industry with Greg Ayler. Saturdays at 1 on Fire Your Financial Advisor.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, we were unable to connect with Dr. F. Perry Wilson. He's a professor of medicine at Yale University, so we will connect with him another time. But in the meantime, you can check out his podcasts, Wellness Actually. He co-hosts with Emily Oster, and also he's always got really interesting tidbits and videos on his social media, on Twitter at F. Perry Wilson, on Instagram at F. Perry Wilson.
And we are very appreciative that you have taken our suggestions, at least one of you has, and gone to the, searched out the St. Louis sinkhole on Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
And left a review, because right now the sinkhole has a perfect 5-star rating, and the reviews are just getting going. And John has left a review and says, thanks, Chris and Amy, for telling me the sinkhole is on Google Maps. Now I can waste more time at work looking up weird things.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome. Paul has left one in the last few minutes. He says, had a detour around it last week because westbound I-44 is closed right there. Got fairly close, but all the area around it is totally off limits, so I'm reviewing vicariously through those who might have gotten to see it. It's the best sinkhole ever.
That's great.
I love when people are putting down the wait time. Wait time is up to 10 minutes.
Is it? Wow.
Oh, man,
yeah.
I got to tell you.
Well, you know what?
Go find it. Leave a review for the sinkhole.
Yeah.
We want it to be
5 stars. 5 stars only.
I think this does have potential to be better than the cop slide in Boston.
What? You hit the nail on the head. The St. Louis sinkhole needs to have better and more reviews than the cop slide in Boston. Are we at a little bit of a population disadvantage?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we are. That means, you know what we have to do? Make up for it with spirit.
And they have 117 reviews. They're a 4.9. The cop slide has a 4.9.
Okay, so we need to keep it at 5 stars, and we we need more than 117 reviews. I think we can do it. Are we at 12 already?
We are at 12 right now.
Yeah.
They're at 117. Now that slide has been around for a while though. So we're just getting started.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel, and just think about the population, the tourism that Boston has. Yes, it does, dwarf ours just because it's like this major East Coast city. But we, with the spirit, with the right attitude, and good Midwestern charm.
Yep.
What about a great review like this? Oh, there's a sinkhole. It's great. 5 stars.
Yeah, I mean, you could say something nice about our show while you're there. You can review. Yeah. You could say, like, oh, Chris and Amy.
You know what?
really,
I think if we get 118 reviews, we'll broadcast from the sinkhole.
I think we should broadcast from inside it.
No, you can't be inside the sinkhole.
On the cop slide, the very first review is from Dominic, and it says 10 out of 10 would slide again. Visited this slide, not a child in sight, just adults wanting to be injured by the metal drop of death.
Oh, my goodness.
So the problem with our sinkhole right now is that it is fenced off. So you're going to have a more difficult time getting to it. Really, you may have missed your opportunity. You should have gone to it as soon as it happened and jumped right in.
Not in.
Yeah.
Jumped in the sinkhole?
Yeah, like gone down in there and explored and then climbed back out.
You are such a verbal liability.
Why?
You just don't listen to this, man.
I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying you should have done it previously, but now it's too late.
Okay. I have something that I discovered a couple days ago. And you know how we have the best know-it-all listeners? Our listeners probably know about this.
Yeah.
They're probably going to be frustrated, maybe mock me for not knowing about it. But I recently bought pepper gel. Like pepper spray, but it's pepper gel spray.
Oh.
I have never heard of all the times that we talk about pepper spray. I don't think we've ever talked about it on this show, but just in life, you know about pepper spray. I've never heard of pepper gel. Matt hadn't heard of pepper gel. And it shoots farther than the spray. You have to be a little bit more accurate with it, but it is very, very potent. It shoots like 18 feet. And it's very goopy, sticky, and tacky, so it sticks to the assailant's face.
Yeah.
They're trying to wipe it off, and, man, it gets in your eyes, right?
That's what I put on my face before I leave the house every day. It's why I'm always in a bad mood.
Also, it stains your skin, so you know who the assailant is, the would-be attacker. So I now have pepper gel. I had never heard of it. Had you ever heard of it?
Pepper gel?
Yeah.
No, when you said it, I thought it was like for wings.
Like pepper jelly?
Yeah.
Have you ever had pepper jelly at a party where it's in the center?
I've had it at my own home.
It's on top of cream cheese.
Yeah, it's great.
I love pepper jelly.
Pepper jelly on crackers even is pretty good.
I like it the old 1970s way where it's on top of the cheese. And then you
that's
dip.
good too.
Yeah.
Of course.
That I could eat all of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, pepper gel. So I've got it. So I'm like, with my next hike, I've got holsters on each hip. One for bear spray. Really for mountain lions. There aren't any bears. And one for bad guys. The pepper gel.
You're going to absolutely, you're going to get the wrong thing out.
It only matters if it's a mountain lion.
Why wouldn't you just have two? How about just have 2 cans of pepper spray?
Because
or
pepper
bear
spray. Well, yeah. Well, because
bear
obviously
spray would keep a person away too.
No, it would. But a couple of things. It actually messes up nature around you. You really don't want to use bear spray if you don't have to. It shoots 60 feet.
It's either you mess up the nature or the person in front of you who's trying to take your head off.
And it could blow back in your face. The pepper gel is very effective on humans. You want to save the bear spray for mountain lions and bears.
Okay. Gabe has commented on the sinkhole.
Okay.
It says, real sinkhole. Thanks for the recommendation, Chris and Amy. Service could have been better, but still a 5-star. Thank you, Gabe. Thank you for leaving a review on the sinkhole.
Yeah.
That's great. I kind of don't want them to fix it. I want them to reopen the highway, but I want that sinkhole to just stay there at Broadway and Biddle forever. We can go around it.
No, you don't, Ranj.
It could be a tour. It could be a real legitimate tourist attraction.
Here's the thing. It cannot impede traffic in any way, whether down by Broadway or the highway. So you need to make sure all the columns and the support columns are safe. You also need to make sure that the water infrastructure is fixed because it's really bothering a lot of people.
Yeah. We'll fix the water, but otherwise, it's a nice tour. We need to have more destinations for people. More reasons to come visit St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
I think the sinkhole is one of them.
Okay, while you're monitoring
I'll let you know if anything else
the
pops
Google
up.
sinkhole. Can I give you an update? It's kind of a serious one. Remember how we were talking about the Europeans really not discovering AC, but discovering the abundance of AC in the United States? And because a lot of homes in Europe do not have AC. I think only 25% of homes in France have AC. And we talked about the record temperatures. The other day, it was 111 degrees in France. 111.7, so almost 112. That is so incredibly hot, no matter where you are. I was in Arizona in the desert, and it hit 112, and it was so hot, and it's a dry heat. So the temperatures there are so dangerous that people are trying to stay cool. Jumping in, bodies of water. They're even going to some of the old, tourist castles. There's actually a runner that I follow in England, and to escape the heat, they were sitting in a creek, and then they walked over to an old castle, which, the big stone looming castles built a lot of times in an area at the right direction to try to keep the temperature moderate. They said it was cool in the castle, so people were just going to these old castles to sit there where it was cool. But in France, they closed the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre for a bit and then have restricted visiting hours because it's so hot there right now.
So I find this interesting just because this is like any other day for us here, right? But the Daily Mail has a headline and this was from yesterday. It says, it's hotter than 1976. Records broken as UK boils in 36.1 Celsius on warmest June day ever, with extreme heat conference canceled, water parks shut, and 1,000 schools closed.
Yeah.
So 36.1 Celsius, you know what that is in Fahrenheit?
Is it 87?
No. It is 97 degrees.
97. Because I know that 40 is 111 because they said it was 40 degrees Celsius in France.
Like here, 97.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's...
Yesterday? That was yesterday.
I think it ended up being 97 on our day at the ballpark last week.
I think you're right. But when there's nowhere to go to cool off,
there's a whole bunch of ocean around them.
In France, they had a 16-day heat wave in August of 2003, and they said that 16-day heat wave caused an estimated 80,000 excess deaths in Europe. But I mean, that is awful. This would be, as a politician, one of my number one issues would be, if I were in Europe, we have got to start making AC accessible. At least, because schools don't have AC, right? A lot of public buildings don't.
Right.
Homes don't. You would think that they're saying that's a lot of deaths.
When I grew up, my high school did not have air conditioning. Yeah. That's
rough.
That is yuck, man. All right, guys, thanks for being with us today. Thanks for doing all that you can to help us out and, be a part of our lives and our day. Amy's leaving, right?
I'm leaving. I will see you after the 4th of July.
You're taking like a real Glover vacation. What's going on with you? Glover shows out for 2 weeks. You're out for a week and a half?
For a week.
All right. Well, have a good time. Don't let the bears get you.
Thank you.
You could probably take a mountain lion, though.
Don't think so.
All right. Anything you missed on this show, you know where to find it. It is on KMOX.com, the Odyssey app, or wherever you get your podcast. The full show, any interviews or segments you want, they're all there for you to go back and listen, and you should do that, or I will threaten you. Go find it. We'll be back, though, this show back tomorrow at 9 with Hancock and Kelly. I'll be here with the boys, and we'll get your day started on a Friday. Have a great rest of your day, but it's time to talk some Cardinals baseball and more with Bernie Miklasz and me, Chris Ranji. The Gas House Gang is next on KMOX.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
If you want to give your child the gift that keeps on giving, invest at an early age.